You misspelled sandwich.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's not a T in sandwich.
I don't know what you're talking about, Blau.
Sandwich is spelled Sandwich.
No. See, this is a sorceress from the ocean domain, and she's a bottom.
Could have just said a beach sorceress. Or
I would
desert.
never call a sorceress a beach.
Or a desert sorceress.
I'm just waiting for the upcoming thing to turn. Hey, there we go. Can I hear us?
I don't know, can you? That's loud.
There we go. Yep.
Do I really sound like that?
You sound like you're dying.
I feel like I'm dying.
I would hope that you don't die live on camera, but apparently you already have backup in case.
I mean, I did that 17 times in the first episode.
Well, don't we also have to do ladybug farming as well at some point?
Well, we've also got to farm the infected brood mommy.
Not today. Definitely not today. I'm giving you I am holding up my safe word on that one. No, not happening.
What is the safe word?
No. It's very plain, very simple, cut straight to the point. It's aubergine.
Aubergine.
Yeah, you know, aubergine.
If you, how do I put this? Well, we beat the game, and that episode has not gone live yet. And today we just want to farm up some raw science for reasons. Science reasons.
Important science reasons that are important. Apparently. Apparently, science is important. Learning is fundamental. And I have to go back to pretending. I'm just now realizing. It's very important. Yeah, you can see, look, we definitely, absolutely finished the game. What are you doing?
I got attacked.
Don't. Be better.
So.
Oh, yeah, I have no. Why am I in this game? Oh, yeah, no, I'm fully wasped out right now. Well.
So.
I mean, we need to grind. I might as well go back to our home base and get that other. Oh, I've been playing a game on Steam, RoboQuest, that has just like tap shift to run instead of hold shift to run. I don't know if that's an option that I can click on here. It would be handy. Tell you that much. Oh, and I should probably make sure that I have like better.
Okay. So we need
to better mutations on. There we go. That's what I was saying.
We need to get a total of 28,000 science, and we have 6,000. So we just need to get 22,000 more than what we have.
We're well on our way.
I don't think the episode where we used the waft emitter has aired yet. But that's how we're going to get our science. We're going to use the waft emitter, which just creates artificial raids.
Yep, we're gonna do artificial base defense and re-up on bug parts. I probably still have my waft emitter build going right now. Now that I think about it.
We won't actually be spending our science until the next recorded episode. So don't worry about it. We're just stockpiling it to be ready for it. But we won't be recording again until October for the seasonal stuff that happens in October.
Well, and also you're being a busy little beaver in the meantime. You've got all the different irons in the fire.
Well, I mean, even if I didn't, we're still taking a break anyway before going into the New Game Plus stuff.
Yep.
But I don't think it'll take us this whole podcast to farm up the science. So,
hard to say.
I think we should prioritize finishing these roofs. Which we need a lot of pine cone for.
You're not wrong.
I never am.
Okay, and I should also make myself a bunch of bandages. It's important.
You know what? We should probably just farm science the entire time. On second thought.
On second thought?
Yeah.
How so?
So I can make things with parts from a certain thing you don't want to fight.
What do I need to fight?
Whatever we spawn. Here.
Oh yeah, we need all the science right now.
Yeah, let me spell it out for you.
No.
Come here.
It's spelled out.
Come here.
No,
just farm science so that we don't have to earn these things legitimately.
I'm not going to earn those things. Well, we did earn those things legitimately, and now never again. So yeah, whenever you're ready to go for the farm bling, where do you want gum put? Upgrade material?
Ingredients?
Ingredients? Where we got them hiding?
Right here.
Oh. Ingredients only. Food ingredients.
Before we get started, we do need to make a charcoal run. Because we are, like, completely out.
Yeah, we probably should need to do that. Do you want me to go and do it, or are you good too? I'll you know what? I'm gonna go do that. I'm also gonna go grab, go and do a pinecone run if I can at all. Chuck on my armor. I'm all good to go. Let's see. I can swap off Mithridatism, throw on Fresh Defiance. And the other most important thing for us to be doing now that we're back here touching grass, unless you have any more preamble about the requisite like task list you put together, no, we should probably talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine. The only reason we're doing Touching Grass series on the X-Men to begin with.
Right. The one that we were supposed to do last time. And ended up going over the runtime of the other two movies, talking about them.
6 pages of notes, Blau. I got 6 pages of notes. And that's not including my initial series of notes that I have not done a, like, second pass on to see if my opinions have changed. Spoilers, they haven't. They have deepened after doing extensive research. You know, going through this entire film series with you, going back and rewatching Deadpool 1 and 2, I have begun to sour.
Everything looks good.
But do you want me to lead in with the recap?
By all means.
We immediately open the movie with a reused joke from Deadpool 2. That being the, let's desecrate the memory of Logan. This time it is an extended bit on it as opposed to just kind of like remarking it and throwaway of the haha he got impaled on the stump. So we have an extended grave robbing scene leading into a fight dance action sequence where they do them bones, them dry bones with adamantium with an adamantium skeleton of ye olde Logan. That Deadpool is needing a team up with Wolverine for some reason. It's not yet explained, and don't worry, we'll get there in flashback. The one or two little bits of out of sequence storytelling that they do in this movie, it's less so than the first two. But the problem is that this like slow-mo title sequence, action sequence, dance sequence is less impressive than the I'm trying to think. We had the fight scene on the bridge to open up the first Deadpool. No, we had just a slow-mo fly through the crash at the bridge. And then the second Deadpool opens up with the frankly amazing Dolly Parton 9 to 5 sequence and then the bathhouse sequence. Which is much more clearly choreographed and interesting to follow, whereas this slow-mo dance fight scene is a little bit disjointed and jarring because it keeps cutting between the actual fight scene and then just cutaways to doing Backstreet Boys dancing, right?
In sync.
They're basically the same.
How dare you?
They're basically the same.
How dare?
I'm getting sizzled. Oh, my hubris. And so yeah, like you can't really you can't really oh, can you not? I'm getting skizzled left, right, and center here. There we are. Because it's just what action beats look cool as opposed to clearly choreographed fighting. They don't even do the jokey title sequence title cards anymore. It is actually just like actors' names.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we can attribute to the fact that this is not produced by Fox. This is produced by the Disney-owned Marvel.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that can be attributed to any studio meddling. It's just they didn't.
It's just a difference in style.
Yeah.
Didn't
do the bit.
Disney-owned Marvel hasn't done anything like that with any of their films, and this is officially part of the MCU, whereas Deadpool 1 and 2 are not.
Is this actually a rock that I can get?
So, no. Likely that decision to cut that bit was made to create uniformity among other MCU titles.
Well, they also...
Which,
you
did also fail to mention the great bit at the very start, when it's doing the little Marvel logo, and about halfway through you hear Ryan Reynolds humming along with it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Or whatever it is. It's a pretty generic song, if I'm being honest.
It's just one of those things that kind of plays into Deadpool's fourth wall awareness.
Somewhat, which is still not... Well, it is the most acknowledged in this movie, I should say. There's one bit that had me real cracking up for it, and I was like, oh, that's really great. You guys definitely put your use to that. But let's jumping ahead. The other thing I wanted to say is like, we don't really pay enough credit to the Woody Harrelson movie Zombieland for kind of popularizing this like slow-mo 3D in the scene credit sequence set to music as the gore, viscera, and even sometimes camera bump into the lettering and move it out of the way. That was where I remember first really seeing that as a device, and it has been in so many movies since as like, we're doing something cool and edgy with our title sequence, which is what this is trying to do. It's getting a little stale and isn't as interesting as with the first two joke title sequence intros. Not even the Bond one was incredible from Deadpool 2. I think that's the high watermark for it.
Billy Hog right about now.
Where's going to be the nearest science center? A ways away. Okay, well, that's fine.
What's on your mind?
I could devour a Billy Hog. That's it. That's all I had in me.
Right, I can't ask him to just stay here anymore.
Oh, you can't? He's going to be following
wait.
you around the whole time?
It was just a button.
But yeah, we cut from Deadpool desecrating the memory of Logan for funsies as best that we can tell, because he says, "Well, I need him for a team up. I need him because."
Well, he kind of opened it up, saying, "You're probably wondering how we're going to go about," or he says, "We all know what this movie's called, and you're probably wondering how we're going to go about doing this without desecrating the memory of Logan. The answer," and then it cuts to him digging up the grave, "We're not."
Yeah. Again, they dig up Logan because they can't possibly not start this movie without undoing the perfect ending that was Logan. And like, I get it. I totally understand why that's what's being done.
Except they actually can't undo it because it turns out he actually is dead.
Well, they give Logan another send-off in this movie. Spoilers. It's never ending redemptions for old Wolverine. But the whole reason that this is ongoing, or at least the reason that we get the next flashback scene, is him in an interview to be an Avenger. And the reason he wants to do this is because he's, as he says to, and he's not talking to Tony Stark, he's talking to Happy Hogan, I think is his name. Happy, I know for sure. Jon Favreau, for what it's worth. The director of the first two Iron Man movies, which is hilarious because, like, yeah, he's the one who kind of kickstarted the MCU for what it is. Yes, I know technically the Hulk came out first. But, like, him playing Happy and being like, actually, the big guy's not here. I'm the guy. I'm the Avengers. It's a wink and a nudge at the camera being like, yeah, it really wouldn't have been around without Jon Favreau doing Jon Favreau things.
And a little behind the scenes, they were supposed to have a Tony Stark cameo, but because of the whole Doctor Doom thing, that didn't pan out.
Yes, but Blade's not really been canon in Marvel. Dun dun dun, foreshadowing. What was I gonna say? But yeah, he's like, Wade is like, oh yeah, no, for as long as as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a hero. I definitely want to be part of a team. I definitely want this. Which was the arc from the last two movies, completely 180'd there. Wade is like, I refuse to be a hero. The only reason I wanted to be part of the X-Force or the X-Men was for the selfish needs of getting my heart in the right place so that I could be back with Vanessa. It just feels so out of character, is all I'm saying.
Except that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
In what way?
His whole motivation for being a hero is once again Vanessa.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
Are you sure?
That's the entire reason why he tried to join the Avengers.
No, it's not. We get a later flashback scene where Vanessa is on him about, like, ever since you bombed out of the Avengers tryout, you've been so despondent and you're not yourself anymore. You've basically just given up. So he was trying this before that flashback scene.
But he said during the interview with the Avengers that he had to do it for his girl.
Right. But we never see why or what that means. Like, she was not... We don't see a prior thing pressuring him. What we see in the flashback scene is actually happened after this one. It's a mess of a script, is what I'm saying.
Do we really need to see...
Do we really
the pressuring?
need to see? Do we really?
Like, does it need to be?
Loses his healing factor?
That is different.
Is it because the explicit canon is that Vanessa loves Wade and they're a perfect match for each other, and this forced relationship drama comes out of nowhere and is not really explained.
It does come out of nowhere, and it's not explained. You're right. But they did make it pretty clear to me, at least, that this was all for Vanessa and not some sudden turn.
Why? It feels like, if that's the case, then it feels like a character assassination on Vanessa, all of a sudden becoming just demanding a girl who need thing that you can't be. Like, it just feels... It feels off. There's something about it I just don't like. It feels like cheap writing, and it feels like cliched writing, and it feels antithetical to the established character arcs from the first two movies. And also, it is, like, super not important to the rest of the film anyways, because it's just tertiary drama. Because...
yeah, I think that's actually a lot of the problem with the writing around characters like Vanessa here, is that this movie's called Deadpool and Wolverine. It's not about the Deadpool supporting cast, it's about Deadpool and Wolverine. So I think it was probably a mistake for them to use the supporting cast as a motivation tool for Deadpool, because the characters just aren't present throughout the film, so the motivation's not well established.
Well, and we'll get into supporting cast as motivation in a multiverse story in a minute here. But do you have anything else you want to talk about the Happy interview other than Ryan Reynolds bombing it because he can't stop being quippy to Happy?
No, the only thing I had to add about it was that Tony Stark was supposed to be there, but because of his casting as Doctor Doom, which was unbeknownst to Ryan Reynolds at the time, he was unable to.
I would like to then point out a couple things about set decoration in this, because yes, this is where my level of note-taking is. So you see, as they're in this, like, interview room, you see, like, Cap's shield and Iron Man's face shield. Helmet, that's what it's called. Don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. I'm fine. Fine, everyone. And there's, like, a bunch of, like, not necessarily deep cut, like, props or paraphernalia.
Oh,
but there was one I wanted to call out.
Hold on one second.
Yeah?
Really should have said this before we started actually talking about the movie, but, yeah, like, if you weren't already aware going into this, full spoilers for this relatively new movie. Like, full spoilers.
It's already had its out of season or out of theater run.
It's been a month. So I'm just warning the viewers. Nothing interesting or new in the gameplay is going to happen here. So, like, if you don't want to be spoiled to this movie, then, yeah, you're fine to skip this one. But, yeah, we are fully spoiling the movie here. Okay, carry on.
Give me a second here. What? Oh, there's my armor.
I usually like spiders, you betting on my numbers.
I actually got the spider. Do we want to go and do some base defense now? Where are you?
Under the tree.
Is there, because I did some pine cone, or I de-pine coned and I charcoal. So now I'm looking for a thing to do.
I actually wanted to fight the infected wolf spider.
Okay, yeah, go for it. I'm just gonna like grab clay and stuff, do mushroom runs. I'm gonna keep doing things in the background. But I did want to call out a piece of background detail that I don't know if other people will get and appreciate, but for some reason this one sticks with me. Sitting right behind Happy Hogan, this entire interview scene, is the stupid swinging pendulum prop from the very first Iron Man that he boxes up in the box. And he's like, I have no idea what I'm doing with it. It's an awkward prop. I think Pepper holds it at one point in Iron Man 2, and it's like, we need to get rid of this. And it's still there in the office, and it made me laugh like no other thing in the movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? The little, like, 3 swinging pendulum desk toy?
Oh gosh, that's a detail I didn't notice.
Yep, it's right there behind them, and they don't draw attention to it like they do with the shield and everything else, but it is very prominently placed. Sorry, this is the kind of stuff that I
Oh wow.
like pick up on and notice.
The wolf spiders are fighting each other.
They do that?
The infected one, like, tried to shoot a bomb at me, but he hit the wolf spider. So now they're fighting.
Cool. That's rad.
I'm just gonna watch them fight. I'm
yeah, then
sure the infected one's gonna win.
After the bombing out of the Avengers, we get a bit of a flash forward to Wade being like, yeah, but you know what? It's basically fine. Now I am part of a team. I've got my life together. Everything's fine. And we see the epic suit up montage that is stolen straight from Shaun of the Dead. Like, this is Edgar Wright's bread and butter of, like, quick cutting, close in shots of someone gearing up to do an incredibly mundane task, which is work at a car sales dealership with Sugar Bear. Right, Sugar Bear is I forget.
Yep, Peter.
I forget his name. Peter. Well, because he kind of looks like Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace with the mustache.
He does.
When he calls Wade Mr. Wilson, and that always throws me off. But yeah, they're working at a car dealership. Wade has a stapled onto his scalp toupee. He's fully mask off. He's not in the Deadpool suit. That's actually Peter's got it stored in his locker. And Wade's like, no, I gave up the hero stuff. Which, again, he was never a hero, and he explicitly stated that over and over and over again for 2 movies. It is core and integral to his character, but now all of a sudden he desperately wants to be a hero, and this need is established off camera in his backstory between movies for some reason. I need this larva dead.
I know we've already kind of beaten that one into the ground, but I will say it doesn't feel like a total character assassination after the whole your heart's not in the right place thing from Deadpool 2.
No,
it does.
Feels like that...
It's a stretch, but it does feel like an evolution of that.
It feels like that character arc kind of comes out of nowhere, and it isn't helped that, like, we'll get to it. Because yeah. Anyways, Wade is living a mundane life. He bike rides home with Peter. Peter is like, you feel distracted? Is everything okay? He tells a story about getting his nipples pierced and then having a chain from that hanging down to his Johnson, and it's very odd.
He actually said it about a guy he knew.
Well, yes. Sorry. It is a guy that he knows did this. I forget what the point of that story is.
It's
And then
it's
like, are you sad because it's your birthday?
It's set up for a gag later.
It's set up for a gag in the next scene, Blake.
Yes.
If that was a plant and then payoff for the end of the movie, I would have thought that was like, oh, that's a good reference callback. But
yeah, it's a little bit weak sauce.
Immediately, it is not as funny. But
no, I agree with you as far as that whole stick goes. Yeah, that's pretty weak.
The plant and payoffs, whereas the first Deadpool movie does or the first two do plant and payoff so well, where they set stuff up that you don't think is going to be called back later, and then is much later, to the point that it's like, oh, you catch it more on a rewatch. This one, most of it is all just like either super well signposted. Who did it? Where is it coming from?
I didn't actually start anything. It's just a normal raid.
I think they're just mad.
Yeah, they're just mad.
Whereabouts are they? It looks like they're attacking...
They're attacking the waft emitter.
Oh. Do we need to do something about that?
Same thing we always do with the waft emitter. We defend
Take
it.
over the world? Are you close by, or...
Yeah, I'm at the waft emitter. That's why they raided it.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I'm doing play diggy at the moment. I mean, we'll get the science for it, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, they hold a surprise party for Wade, and it's all of his friends, except for T.J. Miller, and for some reason, the alien guy who got blended in a chopper was saved off screen? Like, he was not part of the time rewinding saving thing. We already saw that Bill Skarsgård's throw-up man definitely got mulched, and then Peter was told just to walk away.
It's worth noting that of all X-Force, only Peter and what was his name, like Starscream or something?
I just call him better alien man in my notes.
But yeah.
And why he's there, I have no idea.
Those are the only two. Like, they didn't even have Domino.
No, they don't have Domino, they don't have Cable, they don't have anyone from 2. They don't have Russell. Russell should be there.
He really should.
If Deadpool's arc is now that he wants to be a hero after saving that kid, that I would understand. I would understand if it was like, I need to be better for Russell's sake, and that's why I'm being pushed to be an event. Not even mentioned. It's just vestigial from the script. You know who is there? Blind Al. Blind Al's there, and she says, oh man, Deadpool, we're hard up on money, and we might lose the house. I need... Oh, you just got it. Take that, 17 deaths. We might lose the house. You need to do the hero stuff again and stop being a car salesman. Feels like another vestigial bit of script from an old draft where that was the stakes. But nope, that's also jettisoned. This whole thing feels like it's like rewrite city. Like, just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get a Marvel movie, so we have to write 16 different plot hooks at the start, just in case. We have backups while filming. It's super weird. It's super weird. And then they also, play off that Peter Sugar Bear was his friend who had his crazy nipple piercings going on.
So I will admit, and it's weird that I keep saying I will admit, because the reason on that is that clearly we're on opposite sides of how much we like this movie here. But
I think it's a competently made movie.
I
think it's a good roller coaster ride of a movie.
I will admit that the writing is messy, but there's a reason that it's messy. For one, You know, you've got issues with actors from the previous films, like T.J. Miller. You have a complete corporate takeover from Fox to Disney. You have Disney trying to write Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool into the MCU. And also, the MCU is kind of at a low point, as
they point out.
As Deadpool will tell us.
Well, not that the MCU is at a low point.
Yeah, the MCU kinda is. The multiverse stuff is not popular.
He does say that. You are right. I was thinking he was saying that about multiverses, but MCU in general.
I mean, ever since Endgame, it's been multiverse shenanigans in the MCU, and it's not popular.
One might argue that Endgame was also multiverse shenanigans if you consider timeline shenanigans.
Well, that was the start of it.
Yes. I don't want to get bombarded at the moment. I'm just doing rock smashy.
But yeah, the writing is messy because do they even have like the same talent? I mean, obviously you've still got Ryan Reynolds producing it, but like, what about the writers? You know,
it's a different director as well. I want to say, did David Leitch do the first two?
I honestly don't know who the director was.
Well, this director, you know what? I can look that up as soon as I get done here with this. I'm right here.
I'm just saying, it's definitely possible that the writing could have been better, but honestly, much like they treated Logan, I don't really think they cared about respecting the past.
No.
I think they just wanted to write this character into the current MCU.
So it is the same director from 2. The Deadpool 1 director was Tim Miller, who was one of the like stunt coordinator and like special effects artists. He did work on John Wick, and then Tim Miller is a bit more of just like, David Leitch is a bit more of like a working director in Hollywood right now, doing just like comedy action movies. And he's good. Like, I like his stuff. It's just it's such a dip in quality for this third one for the action directing.
Yeah, I just, it could definitely have been done better. I don't think anyone involved really cared about it. I think this movie was based entirely upon two premises. Wouldn't it be great to see Deadpool and Wolverine finally team up? And how do we get these two characters into the MCU?
Yep. But we wrap up this party scene with like finding out that Vanessa and Wade are not together, and this comes as news at this point in the story.
Yes,
like,
because Deadpool 2 ended with him doing time travel shenanigans to bring her back to life so they could be together.
Yes, and explicitly she knows this.
Yes.
She's like, he hasn't gotten me shot yet, to her new boyfriend. And Deadpool's like, I'll give it time. I would think, I literally rewound time to keep you from getting shot would be a little bit of a, like, my hero kind of moment. And she wouldn't leave him for not being heroic enough? Question mark?
So...
I don't know. It's so weird. This is such weird characterization and motivation. It's unclear. Whereas think in the first two movies, how clear Deadpool's motivation is at all times. You know exactly why he's doing what he's doing, and it is shown on screen and very clearly, emotionally resonantly that yes, no, this is the course of action.
The only thing I can possibly figure, and this is just, honestly, it's just me extrapolating and speculating. But the only thing I can figure is that it goes back to how she wanted a family and then got shot dead. Like how maybe that makes her realize how the whole mercenary thing puts them in an inherently dangerous position when they want to raise a family.
That's a lot of flowery language, and I don't think that's explicitly stated.
Oh, it's definitely not explicitly stated. I said it was extrapolation and speculation.
And that's all well and good, you know. Like again, I can get behind that if it makes like tonally resonant sense. Like if that's bringing forward the tone of the movie. But
Yeah,
you know
I'm just saying, the writers did not put forth any reasoning for her, but there are reasons that make sense that could have been made.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Logan losing his healing. We have only made it 18 minutes into the movie, and I know this for a fact because I say 18 minutes in and we hit the stake-free zone because we are immediately introduced into time cop shenanigans.
For that though, there was one thing I wanted to mention about the party.
Certainly.
And that
do you want to do the high Wade bit?
The what?
The high Wade bit?
Hi Wade.
Hi Yukiko.
It's Yukio.
No, but I had to do the callback to the bit that I keep messing that name up. See, I just wanted to get that in there. I've dropped off inventory of stuff. Do you want to do some wafts?
I've been waiting for you.
Do you want some food?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I didn't know you were waiting for me over there.
But about the party scene, there's an exchange between Wade, since he's not Deadpool anymore, and Blind Al. Blind Al wants to do some coke.
They can't do coke in this movie. They can talk about it, they just can't show it on screen.
And we actually get a name drop that, like, if you're not paying attention, you will miss. Wade says, that's the one thing that Foggy explicitly told us we can't do.
Not Foggy Feig. Like, he's saying, like, Kevin Feig, right?
No. Foggy as in Matt Murdock's former partner.
Oh. Alright, I'm here at the waft. Waft it up.
I mean, I guess it could have been that, but
I thought that was a reference to Kevin Feig. You know, the director of Disney. Marvel.
yeah, I suppose it could have been that, but I thought it was Matt Murdock's former partner because he's a lawyer. Makes sense that a lawyer would be the one telling him, you work for Disney now, this is what you can't do.
Either way, it's a good reference.
But then they go into this whole bit going back and forth with cute little nicknames for cocaine.
What are we fighting?
Ladybugs.
So I should use Ice Smash.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we fighting ladybugs?
We need the infected ladybug card.
Oh, the infected ladybug. Fair enough. Alright. You go one way, I go another. We're all good. Where are these ghoulies coming from?
And unfortunately, even though
Girl, hey.
I just watched this movie, I don't actually remember most of the cute nicknames they came up with for doing cocaine. That was "Do you want to build a snowman?" was the last one. And Wade was like, "God, yes, but we can't." It was a good bit.
You're not wrong.
Okay, it looks like one of their groups already gave up.
Why? I'm infecting. It's fine. I'm also not, like, trying to dodge at all. You got it over there? You have the time? I might end up hoiting myself. Oh, lady birds! That's why some of these take a couple extra hits. Oh, that's not bad for the science.
Disturb the mites and they'll bite.
Oh, I could get used to that. And I ended up with some raw weevil meat for some reason. But yes, knock knock, who's at the door? Open up. It's the TVA. They're taking Wade in. He thinks that it's some strippers that were ordered. And he is like down for the BDSM. I mean, who can blame him? They're looking pretty snazzy in those suits. But regardless, he immediately gets yanked into the portal, and I don't understand this bit of physical comedy. Okay, all right.
He does.
Talk about.
Before we move on, though, I do want to point out that he makes the reference. I think they pull out like a taser stick or something, and he's like, "Oh, pegging's nothing new for me, but it is for Disney."
Yes, and looks directly at the camera. Ooh, you guys moved fast. Ow.
I do not know where these ladybugs are.
I got them over here. They're all gone. But yeah, one of the TVAs goes to grab his toupee as another TVA agent comes up behind him and just pulls him through the portal. So like, why was guy one pulling him away from the portal that they were planning to open up behind him and pull him through? Like, if he did not have a stapled on toupee and he went to grab onto his hair, then the other extraction team wouldn't have been able to come up behind and pull him through. But it was a good thing he did have a toupee, so, like, what? Why that bit? And then we also see them surveilling him this entire time. And Logan's like, everyone knows you wear a toupee later on. So how would they not know that he wears a toupee? I'm getting into the weeds on like my Cinema Sins dings here, but it's weird. It's a weird bit of physical comedy when you take 2 seconds to think about its setup. In a way that most other physical comedy in the Deadpool movies are actually really good, like plant payoff jokes. Don't mind me being nitpicky. And, ooh! I pressed the button. It's fine. This is why I'm not streaming. We're all good. But yes, the TVA want to talk to him. We sit down with a man we find out is called Paradox, which is a very threatening name for a very, doofy... He's just like butler coded, right? He's corporate butt monkey. And he's like,
Paradox is a very unimaginative name for a guy in a time management, like time travel management organization.
I liked Owen Wilson's character being called Mobius. Like, I at least get that one. Like, that's a little bit more creative. Regardless, Wade's like, is this because of all of the nonsense I did timeline-wise? Did I, like... Because I really screwed up our timeline.
He's like, you certainly
yes, you
did.
Sure did. But no, that's not actually it. That's 100% not it. I just need you for a very special reason. Do you know what that very special reason is, Blau?
Because he's Marvel Jesus.
No, that's what Wade says. Is it ever explained what the very special reason that they need this Wade Wilson specifically for?
No, in fact, Paradox says you are special, or you have been deemed special for reasons beyond even my understanding.
Right. So that's weird. That's weird, right?
It goes back into what I was saying earlier about this movie is just about establishing Deadpool as an official MCU character.
That's
Well-
a real lame reason for a movie. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I mean,
That does not. Why was that only 900 science? That was way more than that, wasn't it?
because I didn't have ladybug heads this time.
Oh, do you want me to dump off some crud?
Well, we probably need to be using the dissection expert on these too.
Yeah, I do. I have that on. I'm all good. I'm all mutated up correctly. Here.
I wasn't.
I'm in like full go mode. But yes, then as soon as he hears that he's getting into the MCU proper, Wade is just like, oh my goodness, it's go time, grabs the camera, goes on a little mini rant, like he's over the moon. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be nitpicky again. The fourth wall break of I am Ryan Reynolds and I'm finally getting to be in a Marvel movie rings a little bit hollow today. It would make sense if it was Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool 1 of, I've been trying to make a Deadpool movie for years, and now I finally get my shot. Who let me do this, impish scamp that I am? But Ryan Reynolds is like the guy that you cast to get your movies made these days because he is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, up there with The Rock. They've literally greenlit movies off of, what if it was just The Rock and Ryan Reynolds in a movie together? Ow!
Maybe he's just like Paul Rudd and he doesn't realize how big a star he is.
No, I got absolutely destroyed by some ladybugs. If you
He got
wanna...
gobsmacked.
Hang in there.
Yeah, it was rough. My gob absolutely smagged. I'm gonna check to see if we've got other guys coming from another direction, or do you take care of them? Yeah, I didn't do anything on this one.
Well, my gob's getting smacked too.
Why do you hurt so much? Any luck on the card?
Not yet. The only one we need the card for is the infected one.
This is infected one. Oh, it's because these ladybirds can do like a charge run at you. That's what's screwing with me. There.
Yeah, but maybe it is Paul Rudd that would like be seen in the background of like celebrity photos with other members of the Marvel movies looking like paparazzi or a fanboy waiting for an autograph or something, right?
Yeah. But again, like Ryan Reynolds is not really like the indie star darling these days. You know who is? Or it would even be like, man, I can't believe that Ryan Gosling is getting, his own movie in Disney. It's like, no, Ryan Gosling is a giant star right now. So it rings a little hollow. It rings like a victory lap for like your number one baseball man. I don't know this. I'm bad at sports metaphors. Don't listen to me.
Tablets needed.
It's pretty good.
But we also then get the I'm Marvel Jesus line, which is blatant to the point of being almost too on the nose that Wade Wilson has a god complex. Like, oh, wait. The omniscient narrator of his own life.
He had that in Deadpool too.
Exactly. He's just upped the stakes of, like, I am actually Marvel Jesus now. Oh, I don't want to get exploded. It's you, two-hit combo Lady Bird nonsense. Infectoid. You got him?
Nope.
We're all good?
Yeah, at the end of Deadpool 2, he straight up called himself God. So,
Woo! You got some run on you. I know, it just seems a little bit on the nose for this character to have a god complex. Ladybirds can heal themselves with a roar? Wild.
oh, we're losing walls here.
They are running. I've got some bricks in my inventory if you want to try and pop that up.
There's also some in the chest.
Oh, yeah, then we're fine. Okay.
And we'll repair.
Look at you. Good friend that you are. Do I have Widow Wizard Tweet? I do have Widow Wizard!
Yeah, the only ones I don't have are Assassin and the bow. Do you have your scythe on you?
I do. Do you want my scythe?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a scythe for you. It's dropped on the ground here. Just like, I mean, and it is fresh, so you might as well. We also we get a suit up montage. This is the second one in 10 minutes. This one is funnier because it keeps repeating the same clip over and over again. And the guy suiting him up is like this mustachioed Christmas elf looking guy who like beard and curly mustache and all that, and
continuously
getting a little handsy,
continuously grabs his crotch and slaps his ass.
It's great. We also end up with the very final grab being a honk noise, which you gotta love a clown honk every once in a while, right? It just does the heart good. And Wade's into it explicitly. He says as much. These advances are reciprocated. And then Paradox is just needlessly antagonistic for no good reason. Like, and no explicitly given reason either. He's just like, oh, and then we're going to kill your entire world, whoa, because I'm evil.
Well, he gives
immediately.
He gives a reason.
Suck, you thought you were important.
He gives a reason. He
just doesn't want to wait.
He doesn't want to wait.
But like, he's being very cold and callous. And like confrontational, needlessly, in a way that like is grating or jarring. And the other problem with so the reason that this is a problem is Wade is like, the only thing I want ever in all my life is to be part of the MCU. This is what is being stated as the like impetus, the I want of this movie. If this movie had a Disney I want song, it would be I want to be an Avenger. All right? And so he's getting that immediately. He's offered it right off the bat. You know what the price for what he wants is? The price is you have to leave your world supporting characters behind. Your world supporting characters, which I might add, every single Deadpool has a Peter. And that's stated later, which also implies that every other Deadpool has usually the rest of the supporting cast, right? We're in a multiverse. There's no reason to think that the multiverse, the prime timeline that you're going to, that has the best version of every other version of the characters wouldn't have a Vanessa and a Yukio and a Negasonic Teenage Warhead who's never actually given a proper name.
That is her name.
We do see Colossus. Yeah, he's still hanging out with the X-Men. They say in the movie that the X-Men don't even want you to be a part of their team, and he's still friends with the X-Men in this movie. So weird. It's so weird.
Well, if there's no Deadpool in the Golden Timeline,
How do we
then
know there isn't?
why would they bother bringing him to it if they're...
Because this one's special. The Logan that we've been following was not actually special either. Like, he's dead. That's explicit. They didn't save this Logan. They have to get a Logan from somewhere else. Or Logan's not important.
We're being attacked.
Again, with multiverse, the minute you introduce a multiverse like that, and your stakes are, yeah, but I like my old universe.
See,
it's where I keep my stuff.
The difference with that example is that this Logan died.
Exactly. And so did all of his other, and so did all of Deadpool's entire universe is going to go away. He's the only thing that gets saved from it. And he'll just go to another universe where, you know, things will be a little bit different. But all of his friends will still be there. Or maybe they won't. He doesn't even ask. No one brings it up.
It is explicitly stated that everyone he knows will be gone.
Yes, everyone he knows, and will there not be another version of the everyone he knows? He's clearly aware of Captain, right? Like, he's clearly aware of Marvel, Captain America. Are they saying that every other Deadpool we see has to have had an origin story at least somewhat similar to his? Right?
No.
I fell in love with Vanessa, then I got cancer, and now I got super soldier experimented on? Or are we going like complete divergent timelines here, and anything goes? Because either way, if anything goes, why not just grab a different Vanessa and a different whoever to be part of your timeline? No, you have to save different Logans to ad hoc jump your story back to the right path. Oh my goodness!
Okay,
We're bad at defending the base.
let me ask you something.
Sure.
If you were given the opportunity to do the one thing in the world you want to do more than anything else, but you had to allow Not a Girl Face to cease existing.
I don't know that she wouldn't cease existing, because again,
That's not part of the
Not a Girl Face.
not part of the hypothetical.
Okay.
You gotta listen to me. Not a Girl Face, the one you know and love, just ceases to exist. It's a perfectly acceptable trade-off that there might be another Not a Girl Face out there who doesn't even know you.
I would ask. Hey, is there another Not a Girl Face? Is there a clone of them? Have you cloned Not a Girl
Oh my
Face?
gosh, you are the worst.
That is the first question I would ask in the hypothetical of I'm in a multiverse.
Well, I guess this is where you and I differ, because I would pretty much have the same reaction Deadpool had, which is no. Absolutely not.
You gotta realize, like, I'm the kind of guy who's like, I want, like, download my brain into a computer and then put a bullet into my head. But you know what? You can make as many copies of me as you want. Oh, I don't have my
The enemy's attacking.
I don't have my Sky at the moment. Wow.
I guess this is just one that'll be impossible for us to see eye to eye on because of fundamental.
It's a multiverse.
Fundamental.
You can have an infinite number of Vanessas. We have an infinite number of Deadpools.
Fundamental disagreement of beliefs.
What belief of what?
The value of a person.
There's an infinite number of universes. They are all equally disposable.
Yeah,
and
well,
all equally precious.
You know what? I would not give up my Frau Blau for any other Frau Blau in a
How
different
do you know that your
universe.
Frau Blau hasn't been replaced already with an identical Frau Blau from a different universe?
Because she wouldn't be my Frau Blau.
I couldn't tell. Couldn't. Because it's identical. And you know what? Or I would ask, you know what other similar universes are there? How similar can we get? How dialed in can we be here? You know what? Maybe they played the tuba in the past, but that's the only divergent bit. Let's find this out. Like, sure, I wouldn't want not a girl face that was a mime or anything. Mime a girl face, but like, we'd get there. Where are the rest of these guys?
What about one
What do they
that's
get hung up on?
French?
Yeah, I'd have to learn French in that case. If that's like the closest thing. If they were fluent in French but still spoke English, we could make it work.
No, I mean, like, what if they just were French?
What do you mean? Like
just,
they were just from France?
yeah, and like their entire family lineage went back to France.
Would that change anything fundamental about their personality? I have no idea. They've already totally changed around Vanessa and Wade's personality traits for this movie. I'm sure they could make it work.
We're
hung up in
really in the weeds. Like,
But like, so this is
like I said, we have a fundamental disagreement there.
But
So no
this
point
is
in getting
15
caught
minutes
up
into
on.
the movie where we have introduced the real stakes of the movie, the actual villain. It's Paradox. Spoilers: it's not actually Paradox who's the real villain of this.
No,
movie.
he is.
Another bait and switch.
He is.
Wow. He's not really a threat
I think we're under attack.
for most of the movie.
He's definitely more of a sit back and watch type of villain.
Yeah. He ain't no Kefka. We'll put it that way. So yeah, the stakes are raised is that, you know what? Wade's whole timeline is going to be destroyed by the Time Ripper, which is an antimatter matter bomb that's going to obliterate past, present, and future. And in an instant, it's going to be super fast, super painless. 1 second you're here, the next second you're and then it's over.
As Paradox puts it, it's a mercy kill.
Seems fair. Seems fair compared to what we see going on in the Void, where there is very much less than mercy for the end of existence. I have lost where I need to be. There we are. I need y'all to be over here. I would like you to not be. Can you actually hit them? Sorry, I'm having a minute to myself here. And the reason that the timeline is going to explode is, I don't know if we explicitly stated it here, because Logan happened, and they lost their anchor being, that being Wolverine. So, Deadpool goes on to a Wolverine hunt after beating up the TVA agency for just a couple of seconds here, stealing a universe-hopping device, and poking around at some other universes looking for suitable Wolverines. And we get a montage. We get a montage set to... Oh, before that, yes, I did want to mention. There's a recurring bit where there is an intern who is very, very, very attracted to Senor Deadpool. Was there any other bit you wanted to mention?
I just wanted to mention that the first Wolverine that he comes across is comic book accurate Wolverine.
I would actually like to back up to intern who is very attracted to Deadpool, and they make some good bits about, does your wife work in HR? Which, got me. That got me. That was a good quip. I've also started to try and dial in my Ryan Reynolds impression. You just put it a little nasally and be a bit of a snarky asshole. It's fine. Where was I? Yeah, they do a needle drop of Goo Goo Doll's Iris, and I'm like, all right, you got me. You're pulling on my heartstrings here, movie. You know what I want to be listening to. You've got your Guardians of the Galaxy needle drops dialed in. And then when they start doing time hopping shenanigans, they hit me with Huey Lewis and the News. Oh, be still my beating heart.
Oh,
Except
well,
they don't actually get back in time. They get Power of Love, which is the theme from the first Back to the Future. So like, I get the oblique reference you're doing, but you could have splurged with your Disney bucks for the actual song. But licensing issues with Universal, I'm sure, got in the way. And then we have, the montage of looking for different comic book versions of Wolverine from different timelines.
One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to is another blink and you'll miss it detail. When Deadpool gets his Disney sponsored suit, his swords on their hilt have the initials of the Golden Girls.
Do they?
They do.
I would never have noticed.
It is very difficult to actually see it in the movie because I think the bottom of the sword is shown for like a split second.
It's probably like gratuitously zoomed in that slow-mo bit in the intro.
Yeah. But
yes,
it's one of those details like Mace Windu's purple lightsaber having BMF on it.
Nice. I didn't even know that. I only barely know who Mace Windu is because I'm not a giant nerd. I'm a bit of a nerd.
Supposedly, there's something that has BMF on it for every costume that Samuel L. Jackson portrays a character of.
I mean, at least after Reservoir or at Pulp Fiction. That was not an invention beforehand. Definitely not when he was playing just lame schmuck from Godfather. Maybe I am a nerd. You know what? Can we be good here? Not Godfather. What am I talking about? Goodfellas. Oh, I'm the worst. My brain. So yeah, this catches us up to the beginning of the movie and why he was grave robbing looking for a Wolverine. Right?
Yeah.
We're done with
and
shenanigans.
that was a little bit more of the non-linear storytelling from the first two. Actually,
it's basically done at this point now.
Because this was the point where he actually went to go do that.
Yep.
But then we pick back up with him looking for living Wolverines, which starts with our short king comic book accurate Logan.
He's looking pretty good. I would have just taken that Wolverine. You could huck him into battle. It'd be great.
Are there any particular Wolverines you want to mention? I'm sure there's at least one.
No, not at all. Like, seriously, they were all pretty just like wild. I'm sure they were deep cut comic book references that I just don't get.
You didn't even want to mention the one that wasn't Hugh Jackman?
Let me double check my notes here. My notes, the explicit bit here says, yeah, I'd watch Henry Cavill Wolvie. That was it. That's all I say. I mean, I'd watch it. I like Henry Cavill. He's a pretty decent actor.
It's just worth mentioning, because now that means that Hugh Jackman's not the only actor to portray Wolverine.
Until he's 90.
The one I want to mention is the brown and yellow costume, which
What he's wearing is brown pants.
Which Wade correctly identifies as being the costume he wore when he faced off against the Hulk. Right before the Hulk shows up and smashes his face in.
Okay.
So we get a nice little Hulk cameo there. I'm
scrolling up a little bit in my notes here to like I I am confused, and maybe this is more nitpicky than it needs to be, but like, we did the whole Logan is from this Deadpool's timeline, the Deadpool we've been following this entire time in all of these movies.
Right.
And Logan's the anchor being. So then how does Deadpool 2 start with a Logan action figure like being diegetically in the world? So is the movie Logan also just like a piece of like precognitive media that exists?
You are asking questions that you should not ask.
Well, because Logan is explicitly, for the stakes of this movie, a factual thing that exists in the timeline in the future, but a piece of paraphernalia from either that movie or the real events of it were present as like a manufactured toy that Wade just has in his apartment.
I get the implications you're getting at.
Green Lantern movies and Ryan Reynolds exists.
Yeah,
I get that because they're different properties, but this is the canon events of this story have to have happened. We have to buy them as first level narrative existence as opposed to meta level narrative existence.
So I get the implications that you're pointing at, but I think you're taking it too seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, look, I know there's logistics in here that this does not account for, but that whole figure is just 100% just a shameless, cheap Deadpool breaking the fourth wall gag.
Yep. Yeah, no. I get it.
Like, no more thought or context put into it than that.
No, that makes sense. What I'm saying is just it's trying to have its cake and eat it too in some of these situations. But we move on. We end up getting the world's worst Logan, drunk Logan, who might be my favorite Logan. This is just great crabby old guy energy. I love him. He's like leaned even farther into it than he did in the movie Logan. Talking about Logan and Logan is going to be rough in these movies. I really hate that we're doing this with y'all.
Well, you can just call him Old Man Logan.
He's not Old Man Logan. You mean
Logan and Logan
is Old Man Logan, and
yes.
This is a different Logan. Sure. You guys suck so much. Just would like it if you didn't. Would like you if you didn't. I don't want to. I still am trying to rein in the swearing for your channel, but there's something hard to overlook here. Is when the bartender explicitly states like, "Are you guys going to fight or F?" And that's kind of a setup for a later scene that is a fight scene that is a stand-in for effing. Like, explicitly. In context of the movie, that's what that scene is, and they set it up with this bit.
I did not pick up on that, but now that you say it, that makes sense.
Yep. Look, if you've never had, like, I guess, like an angry hate F in the back of a car...
I have not.
After a long argument... Some nuts bust different. I'm just putting it that way.
Wouldn't know.
All right. Now, where were we?
I'm glad you have 6 pages worth of notes, because my rewatching was, wow, there's really not a lot of actual crap, what is the word I'm looking for? My mind just blanked. Story making. Starts with a P.
Plot?
No.
Hey, Fid.
I'm not sure. Brain empty.
Yeah, that's the problem over here too.
Imagine it's a fruit pounder.
Oh my god, why does the English language sometimes just leave my brain?
Do we want to just move on?
Anyway, my point was that on the rewatches, the conclusion I came to was, wow, this movie is heavy on the action scenes.
Somewhat. It is very
Like,
action focused.
There is not very many talky bit scenes, but there's so much to say about the talky bit scenes that are there.
Well, they also do a lot of like, we're dumping 3 movies worth of exposition in this.
Exposition, that was the word I was looking for.
That's not with a P.
Okay, I realized that. Clearly, I did not remember what the word was.
It's fine. It's fine. It was just there's a reason I couldn't think of it with the P word.
So anyway,
I was blocking. It's fine.
we get the worst Wolverine. He's a drunk. Wade kind of goads him into fighting, and he can't get his claws out. Whiskey dick of the claws.
But he ends up drinking an entire bottle of whiskey and just kind of like a no. You don't gotta shoot me. I'll take myself out. Don't you worry. Passes out, and they just bring him back to the TVA. And Wade's like, look, I got a Wolverine. He's perfectly fine. We'll use him. He's gonna be fine. And
I believe he refers to him as the Thunder Cunt from Down Under Cunt.
Oh, chef kiss, just. You know, because.
Can I say that on YouTube?
Canadian?
Well, no, that was a line that we totally skipped over. That the TVA guys said.
You're disrespecting the memory of the best
No,
of Canada.
The best thing that
Out of your mouth.
no, it was the only good thing to come out of Canada, which I wanted to bring up to you because you're Canadian. It was funny to me.
No, Logan is the best thing to come out of.
No, he said the only good thing to come out
I'm
of Canada.
gonna say it's the best thing.
And then which Wade replied, "You get my country's name out of your effing mouth," which is totally a reference to the Will Smith slap.
And also then calling this Wolverine from being from Australia is like a wink and a nod at Hugh Jackman. They also make a lot of musical references for Hugh Jackman, and I like that. I appreciated that. Being like, we're gonna get him to sing a bunch of show tunes dry or whatever it was.
There's actually one line coming up soon that I'm totally gonna forget about in the moment, where it's like an innuendo, like double entendre type thing that gets stated, to which Wade says, "I'm gonna tell Blake."
I don't get that one, sorry.
That's his wife. It's Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Blake, got it. Blake, sorry. No, I got you.
Who plays...
That's also who plays...
Oh, well, you spoiled it.
We're spoiling everything here, folks! Come on down! We got it all! But, they also do he's right behind me, isn't he, joke here when he's back at the TVA and Logan, like, gets back up mid-monologue this. And you know what? That's a reused bit from Logan, or from Deadpool 2. Where they
Except he wasn't
right
actually...
behind you.
Yeah, he wasn't actually looking right at him.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a subversion of, like, how the camera is being cut together. Like, the shot, reverse shot during that exposition. And you know what? That sucks. They're reusing jokes in a less creative way. That's not a callback, it's just a downgrade.
Yeah, I didn't think of it as a callback.
And then they get, like, a pretty... This Deadpool and this Wolverine, will not... Or this Wolverine will not solve Deadpool's problem. And so Deadpool's like, you know what? If I'm so important, if I'm Marvel Jesus, I'm gonna go talk to your boss about this.
Before that, though, Paradox did actually say, for the record, I wouldn't have taken any other Wolverine. But you've outdone yourself and gotten the worst Wolverine. I misheard that line the first 2 times I saw the movie. I thought he said I would have taken any other Wolverine.
Oh, okay. Hey, we're done with this, by the way.
Well, we still have to finish the raid.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, you can get any other animals. We're all good. While you're doing that, I'm gonna do this.
You want to help me carry stuff back to the base from the chest, or
absolutely,
or get me up?
I'm actually doing a minute here, getting some of these red mushrooms that spawn down here.
There's still 2 ladybugs alive, and they killed me.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I'll come save you. That's fine. That's fine. I'll probably be able to pop you back up. They're gonna go wallward, but don't mind me. I'm out of the way.
Willow!
I'm gonna try. There you go. But yeah, was there anything else that you wanted to say here other than this Wolverine will work, and Deadpool is like, yo, I'm gonna tell your bosses, oh wait, you guys are off grid, no one knows what you're doing down here. To which Paradox is like, oh, we can't have you tattling, I'm just cleaning up.
Oh, what was the line he said? Oh, like,
I have buttholes clenching all at once?
That was one of them, but it was like, I'm gonna go talk to your boss upstairs. Was it like I have a black belt in the art of Karen or something?
I have a black belt in the art of Karen, and I'm not afraid to use it. He does make a Karen joke.
Yeah, it was a Karen joke. I've forgotten the delivery.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of ladybug parts that I'm taking back. I got some.
Just take anything you can grab from this chest except the bricks.
All right. Got some nonsense. Now we're running home. And yeah, they end up getting TVA zapped to not a dead timeline. This is purgatory. What is it called? The Void?
The Void.
The Void, where dead properties end up.
Yeah, including a destroyed Fox 20th Century sign.
But like that's what this is metaphorically. This is where properties that are abandoned or destroyed live. It's the island of misfit toys, if you want to think of it that way, right?
It's where they send characters from doomed timelines that refused to go quietly.
And you know what that means? This place is entirely just kind of like barren voids. Like there's a lot of sand lots in this void, believe it or not. So a lot of what you're going to notice is, as you said, a lot of this movie is fight scenes. But a lot of these fight scenes take place in big empty fields of either sand or gravel. Sometimes they're ringed, they have stuff around them, but you're not really ever interacting with the environment. You're just 2 dudes in a parking lot throwing punches. Now, mind you, this is 2 dudes throwing punches in a very interesting way, as Wolverine and Deadpool just full-on brawl here in an open void.
And they can't kill each other.
They can't kill each other, and that's God's cruelest joke is that Wade can't die. I don't know if that's called out here or not.
Not here. That's the scene that you were referring to. That is.
We'll get to. And
yeah.
Wolverine is pretty terse throughout all of this movie, except for that scene. It's got some things to say. I've dumped stuff off. I'm still. You know what? I should probably re-up on goo. Oh, and I should also. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind. Give me that.
That's not so bad.
Oh. Well, that would explain that. Okay, I'm not gonna worry. But yeah, they just have a duke it out fight scene. It's okay. It just means that you're not really getting like a lot of interesting environment. I liked in the first movie where they played with all of the different environments that people were fighting in. There were montages of fighting that were at different locations. You got a little bit more Jackie Chan with it, where you were incorporating props and bits, but it's just the Void is a sandbox, a literal sandbox where you smash action figures together. I also just calling it, I was not spoiled by the cameo that we have here first. You see, or first you hear a voice call off like, "Ladies, don't bother fighting. We can all get along in here." And it's one of the Chris's. Hold on, what's this?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. And Wade is like, I immediately know who this is. Oh, it's gonna be Cap. He's gonna say the line, and then he. Do you want to take over this scene? Because I will. Just
Yeah, you're about to ruin it.
Yeah.
So Chris Evans shows up, and he's like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, he's coming to their aid against this other group of people that are very hostile, openly towards
They don't
Wolverine
show
and
up just
Deadpool.
yet. First, we see Chris Evans up there saying, like, stop fighting, there's bigger fish to fry.
Right, and then they show up, basically.
Then we cut to the rip-off Mad Max cars, which I'm sure are all references to, like, other comic book property stuff, but I don't recognize a single one of them. I recognized Flameo, and I recognized what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning. But that was it.
There's
they
also
roll up to fight or to fight and or capture
Yeah.
this Deadpool and Wolverine.
there was
And
also Sabretooth there.
our mysterious, but not Sabretooth from Wolverine Origins.
So yeah, there's a little bit of an exchange between the hostile group and Chris Evans, and kind of odd for Captain America to swear, because that was one of the things in one of the earlier movies was like he was like language. But you know,
we have made it to page 3 of my notes.
But you know, whatever. It's Deadpool movie. Everybody swears, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love swearing Logan. Oh, he's great.
So anyway, he's like building up towards, you know, a really climactic moment right before he's ready to burst into action, and Deadpool's picking up on. He's like, "Oh, he's gonna say the thing," and Wolverine's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then Deadpool's like, "He's gonna say Avengers," and then Chris Evans says, "Flame on!" Oh, I laughed so hard in the movie theater because me and Frau Blau had just, like, the day before we saw this movie, we had just watched the first Fantastic Four movie.
My condolences. It's actually not that bad.
It's not a bad movie. It's just, like, I made it a point to point it out to her. I was like, oh, hey, that's Chris Evans, you know, he was Captain America.
Yeah, I had called this a mile away. The second I heard Chris Evans' voice, I was like, that's definitely not Cap. That's Johnny Storm. And I didn't have that spoiled. It was great. It was a great bit.
I didn't have it spoiled either, and the fact that he cussed was kind of my hint. I was like, that can't be Cap. This
No,
is
I
good.
just went with what would be the subversion that they're going for here.
Well, when he
Would be
cussed,
the bit.
that was what told me this has got to be Johnny's store. Okay, got a couple choices here. I'm thinking we could try moths. The only thing is they are very dangerous to the actual waft emitter.
I was gonna say let's not do a flying enemy if we can at all help it.
Uh,
That's gonna require me to like think about things, and I'm
Well-
trying to movie recap.
I can just put like one part in at a time, and like maybe we only get like one moth.
We could try. I don't know if we're gonna get that's gonna get us science though.
But if that doesn't work for us,
I mean, we could like try the one wasp or one moth at a time and see if we get.
I'm more
Anyway.
concerned. I'm more concerned about getting the card than the science.
Yeah.
But failing that,
I would swap over probably to my bow and arrow build if that's the case, though.
failing that, we just still need black soldier ants. I think we could do a black ant raid. We need red soldier ants. I think we could do a red ant raid. We also need the black worker ant. We do need infected weevils and infected gnats, so infected bug raids might be worthwhile. Still need orb weavers. We need ladybird larvae, so larva raids maybe. Ant lions might be worth it.
Those spiders went pretty quick. We could just spider chunk it out. That would get us set for a while. Blue.
The only reason I don't really want to jump into the spiders is because we still need the card for the broodmother, and they're going to raid us after we kill the broodmother anyway.
What?
The regular broodmother.
What?
We don't have the gold card for the broodmother, the orchid mantis, or the wasp queen, or the other one.
Dang. That's lame.
That's all of them actually.
Dang, that's lame.
We
Pick your poison. You know what? I'm down for anything.
could also do black ox beetles, and we could try to spawn green shield bugs.
I am not down for black ox beetles.
Really?
Again, that's gonna take a little bit more brain power than I got in me right now.
Okay. Can we actually? Not everything can actually be summoned in a raid, so I need to double check what actually can be.
While you're double checking, I'm gonna get on with the movie recap here. I'm gonna move it a little bit forward. We get our flame on moment, to which Pyro immediately sucks Johnny Storm's flame off. That's how I decided to phrase that. Brain, thanks. You're just like hard waft emittering in the house now. Okay, it's fine. You know what? Waft away.
I'm not. I only put that there so I could see what I can actually stick in there.
Yep, that's definitely the way you wanted to phrase that too. Right, and having flame on in a flame kid, like that little bit there tipped my hat to where this movie was going. This is not a movie about, oh, finally we get to have Deadpool and Wolverine in the Marvel universe. This was a movie about, we get to have every Fox property in the Disney
I'd rather have a
universe.
spider, personally.
Like, that was the bit. That's the thing they're going for. It was not just the two famous guys. We are going deep cuts. We're gonna pull it all together. And so then I kind of was like, ready for the next stuff in the game to come. Or in the game, we needed a Weevil, you said, yes? Yes, I felt that. Do I hear
I
more
was wrong.
infected Weevil? I do. I'm just going for it on my end here. Can you not?
Okay.
Oh, you blew it up! Dang it.
I'm gonna try to spawn a moth, and hopefully we can defeat it before it reaches the waft emitter. But if
No, we can do
the
it. Where are you?
I'm coming back to it. But if the moth doesn't work out, I've got bombardier beetle parts.
Okay. Oh, bombardiers are fun. Yeah, we can do some bombardiers. And yeah, and it turns out Deadpool Wolverine end up getting captured by this pack of
Oh, you completely glossed over the Sabretooth fight.
I mean, there's a Sabretooth fight that's done as like a samurai.
Oh,
samurai
I need
karate
you.
battle.
Oof.
Ever said that, Peter?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of build up to it because
It's a samurai Kirby battle.
there was a lot of build up to it.
Whatever you say, I believe you.
Yeah, because like they're about to fight, and then Wade's like, "Wait, you look terrible." And he pulls out all the swords that are stuck in him, while like ranting about how people have been wanting to see this for a long time.
Didn't they have an entire movie about it that people hated?
They never actually fought, though.
What are you talking about? They never actually fought. Didn't they fight in the alley there with Gambit?
I mean, there was no victor.
I thought that was the thing. It was like Gambit was fighting
Yeah,
Wolverine.
Gambit.
And then
No.
the third guy shows
No,
up.
Wolverine was fighting Sabretooth, and then Gambit showed up.
Right. They
And-
fought. They've already fought.
But every time they fought in that movie, there was no victor. Except for Victor Creed.
You're saying I was reading Victor as a character name. My bad. Sorry, Blau. Like, what are you talking about? There's no Victor. I didn't think that was his name. Whatever, moving on.
That is his name.
I hate it. Anyways, we are now...
Anyway, Deadpool is building it up, like, really big. For, like... God, it had to have been, like, a 3 or 4 minute scene of him building up this fight. And then, like you said, it's a Samurai Kirby showdown where they just charge towards each other and Sabretooth's head falls off.
Yep.
Like, okay. And then, I'm surprised you didn't want to go into this part, because what Deadpool does after Sabretooth's head falls off seems like right up your alley.
He just does an extended Mad Max bit.
Yeah,
Fine.
about
Fix it up.
Furiosa and all. I didn't understand it because I haven't seen those movies.
It doesn't make any sense. I've got the head of your queen, Furiosa. We don't even know that like the bad guy is a woman in this one. A woman? So like why calling out Furiosa? He'd already did a bit saying like these guys are knockoff Mad Max villains.
He also
To immediately do the payoff of like, I'm gonna continue on this bit that you guys are Mad Max. Do you get it? We doing the Mad Max joke.
did the whole monologue referring to Wolverine as a she, and then makes he comes up to him. He's like, "I know it's pronounced he, but I'm gender blind."
Which also which is then paid off again, confusing Chuck for I forget her name. In my notes, I literally just call her Evil Woman because
Well.
that is her character trait. She is Evil Woman.
Well, I know her name, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But anyway, they end up getting captured by the group, and they're because they do the thing that always seems to screw over Wolverine. They pull out a giant magnet, and
Yeah,
Deadpool just happens to be on the wrong side and gets pulled into the magnet with him. And so yeah, they get captured along with Johnny Storm and oh, you're here.
Yeah, I've been here for the whole time.
There's a fight starting here.
So he gets
Oh, I didn't bring this
they all get captured. They're in this
Oh, I
like
did.
cage while they're in transit, and they're talking, and Johnny Storm's like either forget the thing's name, but he's like, either you become food for this thing. It's something from Loki season. It's something from, apparently, from Loki season 1, episode 5. I haven't seen Loki, so the name is not sticking with me. But it's like this big, like, dust cloud looking creature.
Have you ever seen The Never-Ending Story?
No.
Oh, okay, it's fine. It's just the darkness. It's just the thing that comes and eats reality. It's the zone eater. It's whatever you want it to be. It's fine.
And then the other thing is, or you work for her. And then one of them is like, who's her? And then it just kind of cuts to the next scene. Which we see a giant Ant-Man.
That is just, again, the gate around a big empty sandlot.
And when they get in there, the helmet opens up, showing a giant skull. To which Deadpool says, oh look, Paul Rudd finally aged.
Yep.
Which is funny, because I think it was Endgame when there was like a time jump of like 5 years, or maybe more than that. It might have been like 10 years. I don't know. But during this time, Ant-Man was in the quantum universe where time flows differently. So what was 10 years on the outside was like 30 seconds to him.
Yep. It's a good bit.
It is a good bit that you wouldn't understand if you didn't.
Well, the other joke
Didn't
is
know
that,
that.
like, he just looks perpetually super young. Like that's the other joke, is it's like an internet thing, just kind of like how Keanu Reeves doesn't look like he ages. Actual vampire Keanu Reeves. You got this? I don't wanna get too caught up on them.
I think if we're gonna get a moth card, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and this seems to be working okay. We're grinding cards more so than anything here.
I mean
100 science is 100 science. I'm not
yeah,
gonna say no.
we're like 4,000 science away from what we need. So
Well, for now, for what we need, then there's all the rest.
well, you know, we still have to fight that one to get the gold card there.
No, we don't.
We do.
No, we don't need that gold card. It's weird how they never gave that enemy a gold card. Not in the game. Suspiciously missing. Am I hitting you with my ice when I'm looking up like that?
Not sure.
I just want to make sure that I'm not dunking on you over and over again. Oh, you know what? I can probably...
The enemy is attacking!
I can definitely take this off and instead put on... Let's see if that helps out.
I missed.
My next bit is where I get to talk about someone being degloved. Do you have anything to get up to before that?
Degloved.
Yes, we see someone degloved.
I can't catch my breath.
I thought I had introduced you to this term before.
Peter,
Maybe deal with them, or you revive me very quickly.
Yeah, because I have a reliable friend equipped.
Well, aren't you just the most reliable friend?
I am.
Oh yeah, it's kind of right there in the name. But yes, we end up going to Cassandra Nova. I remembered her name, by the way. That neuron fired. It fired correctly. We go to Cassandra Nova's, like, clubhouse, fort, where there's a bunch of misfit mutants.
Yeah, her
and
clubhouse,
B-list-
which is just Ant-Man.
Yep, and just a bunch of B-list disposable stars. A new version of Juggernaut. They couldn't get Vinnie Joan back, unfortunately.
Is it supposed to be that version? Because it looks like the same costume.
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's not Deadpool 2 Juggernaut,
Definitely not.
but it's also not Vinnie Jones. And Cassandra Nova, who is just can warp reality and read minds by sticking her hand in your face.
And is also Charles Xavier's twin that he didn't even know he had, apparently.
That he didn't know he had because she was kept secret from him. She got voided.
She
by
got
the TVA.
put in the void basically immediately.
Starting here.
Well, because she's such a threat to the multiverse or whatever. Except that's not really explicitly stated. It's just, and she says, even immediately, right off the bat, you know what? Best thing that ever happened to me was being stuck in the void. You know what, TVA? Not too bad. I don't really mind them. They're pretty okay in my books. They gave me my own playground to run around in. I like it here. Later on in the movie, she says, I actually like it here. It is my home. And then the third act happens, or maybe the fourth act.
She also says she tried to strangle Charles with the umbilical cord.
Yep. And Deadpool stops her in her monologue. He's like, actually, we've heard all about you from Johnny Storm. He just goes off on a rant. Digs Johnny a nice little shallow grave, which seems kind of out of character. He gets real nasty and graphic in the way that Deadpool is wont to do, but we haven't really seen Johnny Storm act this way. Anything you want to say before I say Johnny Storm gets degloved?
No, you can, oh, that's what you mean.
She put it together, folks. Cassandra Nova is not having any of this and just zips all of Chris Evans' flesh suit completely clean off him, and it's very gory. You see a like bodyworks skeleton and musculature stand there for 2 seconds, and then we get the cartoonish like gloop gloop noise as it blinks.
And what leads to this gory display? So,
Did you have the rant?
Deadpool tells Cassandra that Johnny's told us all about you. He said you're a megalomaniacal psychotic asshole, a finger-licking dead-inside pixie slab, a third-rate dime store nut milk, and that she can lick his goddamn cinnamon ring clean and kick rocks all the way to bald hell. In fact, he doesn't give a shit if you remove all his skin and pops him like some nightmarish blood balloon, and if the last thing he does in this godforsaken cum-gutter existence is light that fuckbox on fire, he still won't die happy.
Kick rocks all the way to bald hell is maybe my favorite line in all of that. I don't know if you have one.
I do, but I'll get to that later.
Okay. And then yes, he gets degloved. And it's very gory. It's shocking, and it's immediately undercut by this cartoon ass sound effect going gloop gloop as he blinks, and then turns into a pile of viscera.
And Wolverine gives him absolute shit for just getting this man killed.
Yep. And here is where we get Cassandra reading Deadpool's mind. What are these things actually...
Which is very comic book accurate.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the sticking fingers in your face. And
it's as gruesome as it sounds. Like, she sticks her hand in the back of their head, and her fingers are coming out the front of their face as she's just, like, groping around.
Yeah, like literally groping around in your head. That's the bit. She's a mind reader, but she's got to get physical with it. And this is where we get the flashback scene of, like, Wade and Vanessa talking, and she explicitly says in this scene, like, ever since you bombed out of the Avengers trials, you just haven't been the same. You've lost your luster for life. You seem less... It reads as, like, you're having a midlife crisis, Wade, and you're no longer as interesting as I first found you when we started dating.
Hey, you know, that actually sounds like a viable reason for her to be like that. But thought of one.
Why he's having this midlife crisis?
Because he wants to be a hero now, and he isn't making the cut.
But he's wanting to be a hero now for Vanessa.
That's true. He does explicitly state that in the meeting with Happy.
So it's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing. Which came first? Vanessa being disappointed in him, or him bombing out causing Vanessa to be disappointed?
I still
You see
think
where I'm getting at, right? Like,
I still think that she was just riding his nuts about basically being a burnout with his abilities.
She never felt that way in the first 2 movies, though.
I know. I mean, I can't say anything that you're not going to come back by saying flowery language. It wasn't explicitly stated.
It's me nitpicking. Like, there is no really clear emotional core in this movie like there were in the first 2. We don't even have this is a story about it being a love story, or a story, or a family movie.
Yeah, I'll grant you all of that. Like I already said, this movie was about officially bringing Deadpool and Wolverine to the MCU.
These things hit hard. Yeah, look at that. Don't worry about me. You basically got it.
I need some help.
Nice.
Hang in there. You're gonna be okay.
Back.
Just be careful of that bleed effect.
Yeah, it's gotta pop bandages like crazy on this. But then we end up with evil woman is evil because it's fun, and Wade is needlessly antagonistic, and they end up fighting.
I think we're under
Like,
attack.
they're fighting, the base gets attacked by...
Well, Wade doesn't fight her. Wolverine fights her.
Wade antagonizes her.
He does.
Consistently from the
But that's what
go.
that's what Wade does. He is a shit talker.
Yes, but if his thing is like, oh, I need to actually be part of a team and be a hero, he's not doing anything to push himself in the way that he was in the second movie. Like, when he was trying to be good for X-Force and get his heart in the right spot, you could see that there was, like,
Well,
an attempt at personal growth.
he's not actually trying to be part of a team here. He's trying to save the world.
Yes. But their food, the rent is due. The rent being food, you need to be eaten by the big purple cloud monster, as explained by Loki season whatever. And Wolverine hops on a rocket boot and escapes. Is like, you coming, Wade? And then they disappear. So this Sandlot fight scene with the walls now ends us to our third location of 3 so far in the Void, which is we're standing on some empty flat rocks on top of a mountain.
And I forget what the dialogue was like, but Wade's knife got stuck in Wolverine's ass, so he had to take a moment to pull it out. And this is what prompted the comment where Deadpool responds with, "I'll tell Blake." I wish I could remember the line. It was some double entendre line. Like, clearly Wolverine didn't mean it in a sexual way, but that's the way Wade took it, because that's the way he takes everything.
Nice and clean.
He takes everything where? I mean, how? I mean, you know what? Let's move on from the phrasing.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. Sorry, my brain is falling apart here. But yes, we also get the line here being like, yeah, if we can get back to the TVA, I promise they can fix your world? Is that how he puts it?
I don't
Is it a
think
promise?
I don't think he promised. I think he just said that they can.
Right. Anyways, they can fix your world. All of this is being done where you're just basically seeing, like, mid close-ups on a flat background with, like, sky in the background. It's very visually unappealing as they continue on with this, like...
And then they show up at the edge of a flower field.
No, they don't end up at a flower field. It's just as they're on the mountain here, we see the little dog run up. I don't have any notes about this whole bit about Little Dog or Nice Pool. So if you want to say anything about it, go ahead.
So this really, really ugly looking dog, like so ugly it's cute kind of looking, with its tongue hanging out perpetually, just starts running over the horizon. And Deadpool is immediately smitten. And then her owner shows up. And it's Nice Pool. Which is just Deadpool without a mask, looking very Ryan Reynolds-y. Because his
Very
face...
long hair, done
Yeah.
up in a man bun, and just... I'm just so chipper and happy to be here, folks. Everything's going so lovely, eh? You know, he's a little bit more Canadian in this one, just a little bit. Because he's nice, you know.
He doesn't have the accent.
It's a little bit there in the way that he talks.
Not in the way you're doing it.
No, actually, I was dipping into like Minnesota for some reason, so don't mind me.
But yeah, he's overly nice. He does tell them that the dog's name is shoot. She has like an actual name, like Miss Pupper Pants or something. I don't know.
I
But-
can't imagine that's her actual name as opposed to just him giving a nickname because that's what he does for everything.
Well, no, this was the name Nice Pool gave her. But also said that she's also called Dogpool. Because she has a little Deadpool-like outfit on. It's bugging me that I can't remember the name, so I'm going to look it up. Dogpool's name... Mary Poppins. Yeah, anyway, you know, Wade wants to keep the dog, and Nice Pool, you know, refuses because it's his dog. He does admonish him for letting her get away, to which he's like, you know what? You got me there. Won't happen again. But he ends up offering to let them take his Honda Odyssey to go where they're trying to go.
You're right, we are in Cornfield. We missed a little bit where, like, we get a whole recap of Logan and the bit with X-23 and how, like, oh, you were the best. Oh, you went down. How'd
Yep.
that happen?
I need some
Give me a
assistance.
Oh,
second.
I wasn't paying attention to my health.
I was doing that earlier.
Yeah, before the dog shows up, Deadpool is telling Wolverine about X-23
Willow,
and how Logan died saving her and a bunch of other kids.
Are we sure that
Dang, their bleed ain't nothing. Look at that. That's the problem. But yeah, it kind of clues you in as the audience that, like, all right, the important stuff here is gonna get like backstory exposition. You need to know about Loki. You need to know about Logan. We're gonna spend a lot of time on that. If it doesn't get backstory exposition, then it's probably not the most important thing to be worrying yourself with.
at least
Like, you don't need to
explain.
know all of the important backstory. This Nice Pool also mentions that there are just packs of wild Deadpools roving this wasteland. There are a dime a dozen out here, but Logan's are special.
Well, dime a dozen is actually something that Cassandra says.
Either way, Nice Pool mentions the Deadpool conglomerate that is just roaming around.
The Deadpool Corps.
Yeah. I should like to not die.
I think we're under
And he does mention Ladypool.
Yep. And that he's a feminist. And the Deadpool Force is what it was. But not part of the Deadpool Force is Nice Pool. Like, they're not teamed up. And also, for some reason, this Deadpool This
No.
Deadpool hears that there's a bunch of other Deadpools out there and doesn't immediately go to seek them out to join them.
No, Nice Pool is part of it, but he doesn't fight.
Is Nice Pool part of it?
Yes, and it's not called the Deadpool Force. It is called the Deadpool Corps.
The Deadpool Corps? Okay, whatever. For some reason, my notes say Deadpool Force in all caps, which is usually what I do for like when I'm actually doing a proper name as opposed to my cheeky names. But it's fine. Bad note taking on my part.
It was a thing. It was a thing in the comics too.
Yeah, so Nice Pool and Marvel Jesus don't. I didn't think Nice Pool was part of it because later on, Nice Pool gets got pretty bad by the Deadpool Corps.
Well,
No hesitation. Almost seems like they were doing it on purpose.
I mean, he doesn't fight. That's why he doesn't fight them, and he's a nice person,
And this
which is why he
Deadpool
helps them.
Also, is completely different from them. He's not affiliated and refuses to be affiliated, and just doesn't do anything with this. What you would think would be a group of very like-minded individuals who clearly all work well together as a group. Jesus is the only one who stands out. A weird characterization there. But yes, now we can move on to they're inside the Honda Odyssey. It's weird product placement because it's very clearly product placement, but
But it was also a chance for Ryan Reynolds to talk mad crap about the Honda Odyssey.
exactly. So like, how would you get the sign off on that product placement if all you're going to do is spend time bashing the Honda Odyssey?
I mean, it's
The enemy's attacking.
a Marvel movie.
Right, and here we are talking about it, giving it free advertisement. So you know,
A Marvel. It's not only a Marvel movie, but the third movie in a series of Marvel movies that is in the top 5 grossing R-rated movies of all time.
finally beat it. Finally beat Passion of the Christ. We got a payoff for the joke that was in the second movie. Me and Jesus talked about in the same sentence.
But yeah, all 3 of those movies are in the top 5 R-rated movies.
Yeah.
With this
How are we
one,
doing on that card? Also, we gotta. Do I have to turn in this Bombardier Beetle fight thing? Hold on, I should probably do that.
We're being attacked.
There. I would like to be able to get you. Why are you not landing a hit? There we are. There's a different noise for landing a hit versus missing completely. You get the thwunk. Oh, that bleed's gonna get me. You know what? Give me a minute to try and pick up some arrows and fix some of my health.
sure. While you're doing that, you can talk about the Honda Odyssey.
It's a Honda Odyssey. They go for a little drive. There's a quip about Logan being in a yellow suit and how much that cost to actually get him in there.
Speaking of costs, when Johnny Storm was killed and Deadpool got admonished for basically causing it, he said, "Do you know what he was doing to the budget?"
Yeah, no kidding. And we also get the we get one little Spider-Man bit out of context while they're in the Honda Odyssey. And if I can recall anything from what Spencer has told me, like, you know, Deadpool and Spider-Man are kind of a bigger thing in the comics. But they can't really have Spider-Man in this multiverse and do the surprise it's a bunch of the old Spider-Mans because, well, Fox had already blown their wad on that one. They've already stolen the multiverse thunder.
Well, they kind of have
Deadpool.
they kind of had trouble doing anything with Spider-Man because Sony has the rights to Spider-Man.
Right. So they did what they could with it, but that like multiverse thunder was already stolen. Do you want some food?
Not bad.
I'm actually good on food.
I killed one aphid and it dropped 4 aphid chunks because of my dissection expert. But Logan is absolutely fed up with Deadpool just being like a goof off. Deadpool let slips that he said, if the TVA can fix your world, that Logan catches it. He's on the up and up instead of being a consummate screw up drunk. He can absolutely read that line from a mile away and goes, wait a second, you lied to me. I didn't lie, I just made an educated wish, which I really like that turn of phrase. It's a great screenwriting little bit there, because it's not educated guess. And it's not, well, I was hopeful for it. It's such a great turn of phrase. I really hope the writers went home and finished themselves off after writing that. They should have had the whole day. Just take it. You did good job. And then they keep bringing it back over and over again. And it loses its luster every time. But they have they then have a big Logan monologue where he just goes off on Deadpool. And Hugh Jackman is such a talented actor. He is putting in so much build up into that. It's a slow boil of a monologue, and he's doing some insane work where he's like, you see the fire in his eyes, but his eyebrows are just perfectly flat, unfurrowed, and he's doing a lot of work in this scene. And then Deadpool's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you now. Not, I'm gonna F you now. I'm gonna fight you now.
Well, he actually said something that got under Deadpool's skin, and then he gets like serious for a moment. But he's like, "What did you finally run out of things to say?" And after a pause, he's like, "I'm gonna fight you now."
You can tell that Deadpool is like turned on by this aggression, which they also kind of set up with the with him like being into it from the cop enforcers. When they showed up as the TVA, he's like, "Oh, this is not my first rodeo. Like, let's start setting up boundaries." Like,
but
okay, all right.
He's not his usual jokey Deadpool self. He's actually kind of somber and serious for once.
But then they get into a big old fight,
and then he starts
tear that Honda Odyssey apart.
Yeah, Wolverine started to like scoff at the idea of Deadpool trying to fight him, which Deadpool just interrupts him with a punch to the face.
Yep.
Although before this, there was one part that I really liked before Deadpool got serious, where Wolverine's pissed and he's like, "Just give me a reason, just one, just give me one more." Clearly saying, just say one more word. Then after a pause, he says, "Gubernatorial."
Gubernatorial. Yes, that's good. It's a good bit. You know what gubernatorial means?
It's something related to governance.
Yes. Are you fighting anything over there? Did it come in yet?
Not yet.
It takes a minute. I was going and checking on mushrooms. But yeah, they tear that Honda Odyssey apart. You know what? I also take issue with this fight scene. It is the most interesting fight scene in the movie. I'll give it that.
And disagree.
Nope, it is. Disagree that it's the most interesting, or disagree that there are issues with it?
That's the most interesting.
Nope, it is definitely the most interesting. Because they're doing the most with the set in this, right? You're having it like play around with it being this confined space in this car. It feels, I called it out earlier in my notes, it feels like a Jackie Chan fight, where they do like the different seatbelt gags, the going up through the skylight, they're doing the putting the seat back down. Except they already had this fight scene in the very first Deadpool movie, which is the highway fight scene, where it's a much clearer to follow action beat. And it's 3 guys instead of just 1. They're reusing a fight. It's done more bombastically here, and you're doing it with Wolverine, so it feels bigger and badder, but it's just not shot that way. It's quick cut, shaky cam stuff, as opposed to the clear action visuals that Tim Miller was able to bring, as opposed to David Leitch. He's using the Bourne style of editing and cutting and doing like punches and reaction shots to cover up the more shaky fight choreography. And it's rough. It's rougher. I would have also appreciated if they really wanted to like tie a bow on this being a metaphor for sex, is if they had a shot that is the Titanic in the car fight, where you see a hand reach up, but instead of a steamy handprint, it's a bloody handprint. But no, they don't even go for that low-hanging fruit. It's fine. It is what it is. Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh no, I want to call out one other one. Deadpool in this fight scene. Wolverine gets Deadpool pinned on the hood of the car at one point, and then goes to bend his arm back, and Ryan Reynolds goes, no, 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 and then lets out a high-pitched scream, which is an identical beat to what is in the trailer for The Nice Guys, Ryan Gosling's amazing movie with Russell Crowe, directed by a previous Marvel director, Shane Black. And that movie, that scream, that Ryan Gosling performance is what Ryan Reynolds wishes he could be emulating here. It is lacking in every sense of the word. I shouldn't be watching this movie thinking of other better movies, let alone other better movies in the same canon as this film. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. They fight throughout the night. And they've tuckered themselves out. Deadpool's all wrapped up in seatbelt straps. Logan is just completely done. He's exhausted. And we see a mysterious stranger walk up to the car and go to drive it away. Do you have any notes for this section, or did I cover it entirely?
You covered it.
Do you like the fight? Do you have anything with it? Again, you're not even saying it's the most interesting one in the movie, so it's just an also ran for you.
I mean, I think that for being a pretty intensive fight in a very, very cramped space that is well done, I think you and I have different ideas on what makes an interesting fight.
First movie's car fight?
Probably.
Okay. Matter of taste. And again, it's just I have a real aversion to like that shaky cam quick cutting editing. I really don't like it.
I've watched so many found footage movies that I kind of have built up a tolerance of it.
I don't know if built up a tolerance is as high praise as you'd like to give. It's fine though. But I will let you, I don't have any...
I mean, I get it, because there was definitely a time where I hated shaky cam footage. And there still are cases where I think it's pretty bad. A lot of directors, I guess, don't seem to realize when enough is too much.
Enough is too much. Yes, you know what? That's definitely a way to put it. I'll be good for a couple more.
But I'll say here that I am desensitized to it enough that, without you pointing it out that it was shaky cam footage, didn't even register in my mind that it was.
I will just let you know, the next time my notes come in is when we talk about the Ragin' Cajun. So if you want anything up to that point, it's on you.
I don't even know what the... Oh, okay.
See, I can do this stuff. It's not hard to write these lines for Deadpool. Like, I'm there, and I'm just some idiot nobody. Where'd you come from, bud? So do you have anything to say before we get to the Raging Cajun?
Not really, no.
All right. Deadpool and Wolverine wake up in a secret hideout of mysterious nobodies. And as they all walk in, it is revealed to be Elektra, I want to say?
Jennifer Garner's rendition of Elektra.
I've never seen whatever movie she was supposed to be from. And I was like, oh!
She was from the movie Elektra. And also the movie Daredevil.
I assumed that it was just another person from Daredevil Season 2, but the actress, I couldn't remember who played it.
So it is definitely a different actress.
Cool.
In 2003 is when Daredevil with, I want to say, was it Ben Affleck?
Sure. You mean Batman?
Yeah. I think that was when that one came out, and then 2005 is when Elektra came out.
Okay. And then the real pop-off moment is seeing Wesley Snipes back as Blade. And for me, my pop-off moment was seeing guy you love to see, Channing Tatum. I need to scroll down on my notes. I just have like pages on pages of Gambit notes here.
Oh, Lord.
I love the character of Gambit, even though all I know is that he is Trenchcoat Setzer who blows things up. I don't know any of the lore. I just love his design. I think it's the dumbest possible thing to have a mutant power that is... I can make things explode by imbuing them with energy? That's not a mutant power. That's dumb.
The only thing I have to say about Gambit here is that not only does this look like the Gambit that everybody knows and loves,
best looking Gambit,
but this actually shows off Gambit's powers, unlike the Gambit that we got in X-Men Origins Wolverine. That Gambit was a disappointment. I say as someone who doesn't really even know much about Gambit.
Nope. And, I mean, also, Channing Tatum is wasted as, like, Hollywood leading man actor. He should be doing this kind of, like, bit part stuff because he is amazing. And he is a character actor deep down. And the only thing that's keeping him from being in, like... Coen Brothers movies, besides the fact that they're not making movies anymore, is because he doesn't have a face that looks scrunkly enough. He looks handsome, but every time I find Channing Tatum in a cameo role for something, it just lights up the screen, steals the scene. And, like, Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson, Deadpool, calls out, like, who is your dialogue coach? You are unintelligible. But, like, he's doing a really good Cajun accent. He's layering it on thick. He is nailing this. That is not a hard thing to do for some of these line reads. And I thought he was perfectly, like, legible. Like, he was intelligible. He was not hard to understand.
I couldn't understand almost anything he said, but I struggle with thick accents.
You know what? I've built up a tolerance for accents over the years, so I thought it was great.
I'm also partly deaf.
Mildly in one ear for me, but not medically impactful. Like I can't claim disability off of it. I also don't particularly understand why when Gambit comes in, he's mad at Logan for drinking his liquor, and then what he does to rectify the situation is shatter the bottle and waste all of the liquor. It just doesn't make sense.
He's not going to let him disrespect him by just drinking all his liquor, even after he told him not to. But then he proceeds to just let him take another bottle and drink it.
Yep. And then the last person to show up in here is X13, who has a name. Is it Laura?
23.
Sure. Is it Laura? Am I crazy?
Yes, it is Laura.
Nice. And Of course, this Wolverine has no cathartic connection to Laura. Laura is shocked to see a Wolverine, because there really aren't that many in the zone.
This is the first one in the void.
First one. And she's like a bit verklempt. It is implied that this is the Laura from our timeline as well?
It's
Like the Logan timeline.
It's explicit.
Right. So the TVA absolutely also either saved or dumped her in here. Or maybe this is where she ended up after the timeline collapsed in her world, because you'd think the way that they show the timeline collapsing is like a literal timeline unraveling.
Well, you know
It
what?
would be way closer to it than Deadpool that we see chronologically, given her age and when that movie takes place. But you know what? Let's just hand wave all that.
She wouldn't be way closer, because you said it would take thousands of years.
That was a near-death experience.
Well, no. Why is she here then? And it's not that it would take thousands of years. You could see it unraveling, they're, like trying to rip her apart as the machine is revving up.
I do have to take back what I said. It wasn't explicit, but this is the same actress, which means it is the same one.
No, that's not true. Because we see all but one Hugh Jackman is played by the same actor, and they're all different Wolverines. So, your premise is immediately flawed.
No.
All of the Wolverines we see from all the different timelines are played by the same actor, except for the one.
Yeah, but everyone in the void is played by their original actors, except for Juggernaut, which I'm sure there's some like logistical reason for that.
I'm just saying, you can have the same actor playing multiple versions of a character.
You can, but in the void, that's not the case.
Oops, my bow broke. That's a problem.
See, all those other Wolverines are not in the void.
Yeah. I just, like, timeline, like, the rules for the multiverse are not really established well at all, and so, again, you just kind of work on, like, I don't know what the stakes are situation.
I'm looking at it more from, like, a meta point of view, where clearly the void is where all of the old Fox-produced Marvel characters are going to die, basically.
Don't even need to boil it.
And with that knowledge, if it was a different Laura, it would be a different actress.
Regardless of that, it's just it's odd to me that like the emotional resonant part here for this Wolverine is like, oh, this kid actually does look up to you and considers you specifically a hero because she is implanting on you memories of a totally different person, and then that's going to give you the emotional like cathartic anchor, I guess, to stop being a screw up and like actually be a hero.
But also, are there multiple Lauras?
We have no idea. We have no idea.
Because, you know, that would seem to have to indicate that more Wolverines died.
We saw a Wolverine impaled before.
Just the one.
Laura wasn't one of those skulls.
Just
on a big X cross.
Just
Roman style.
Just the one Wolverine died, and that Wolverine was still alive.
Yeah. Anyways, they have a heart-to-heart. They're all going to go and take down. They're all going. Oh yeah, we are actually having a fight. Right. Like, are we being attacked from somewhere else? No. And they're gonna go take down Nova because that's what you do. You go and fight the big bad. Why they didn't do this before?
Except
because
Wolverine.
They didn't have a Wolverine.
Except Wolverine is being a wet blanket about it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it, and that's why they have the heart-to-heart with this total random stranger who is no different from if it was just literally any other X-Men coming up to him, of which Gambit could have done.
And the only real takeaway here from this conversation is that you know, she kind of talks up what Deadpool's Logan had done and how great a guy he was, and he just kind of retorts with, "I'm telling you, you got the wrong guy," and her response is just,
You were
always the wrong guy," which is a good line. I kind of wish that she had actually added "until you weren't"
We're being attacked.
to it, but I mean, I guess the implications there are all the same.
Yep. I actually like the implication that he was always the wrong guy to be the hero, even up to the very end. It's kind of the Batman thing of, you're not the hero that Gotham needs, you're the hero that Gotham deserves, sort of thing, right? You weren't anyone's first choice, but you know what? You still stepped up. You were the wrong guy for the job, but you still got the job done, and that's what matters. Is that a resonant theme for this movie? Not at all. Like, that doesn't tie into any of what a Deadpool movie is about. It is just another bow, another feather in Wolverine's cap. Of all of the times that he has had movie endings, this is another one. But yes, they all wake up in the morning to go, except for Logan. Logan's not there. Logan doesn't do the suit up. They all get in the Honda Odyssey. They all start driving away. They drive to the
Ant-Man.
They drive to Ant-Man and blow open his arms with a giant rocket launcher. They all step out in slow motion to fight all of the other goons. The absolute goon squad. They're gooning all over this fight in Ant-Man, inside of Ant-Man.
And their plan is actually to get Juggernaut's helmet to use to incapacitate Cassandra Nova's psychic powers.
Because that's the only bit of adamantium that exists in the void, right?
Because, you know, Magneto wouldn't join her, so Magneto got killed, and his helmet was destroyed because she knew what it was capable of. But Juggernaut joined her.
You know, also Deadpool's katanas are adamantium.
And so is Wolverine's entire skeleton.
Yeah, it'd be easier to melt down Deadpool's katanas than it would be to, you know.
And also so is Laura's skeleton.
Yes! But again, skeleton melting down is a little bit different from katana melting down. You don't want to have a katana meltdown.
Look, he couldn't melt down the Golden Girls.
But we have.
Did you get it? That's why their initials are on it, because the katanas are gold colored.
Yeah. They all step out of the car and they have their like hero shot. Like, we're going to have the ending. We're going to actually give our franchises an ending now. That's the whole bit for this. Is like, we didn't get one except Laura. Laura had a perfect ending for her franchise. Dang, it really do just be like that sometimes. These things hurt.
I need some assistance.
Yeah.
But Blade and Elektra are gonna get their ending. Channing Tatum's Gambit never even had a beginning. He was like, maybe I was born into void. It's like, yeah, because you were in this metaphor a stillbirth? It's just weird. We don't need to unpack that.
How about the comment about his dad and his mom?
I'm not gonna go into his mommy and daddy. I came out the. I can't remember. I came out a dick fight, that sort of thing. He has a good line. He's great. He's doing his best. And yeah, before we even like have an all is lost moment in the fight where like it seems like they might not be able to win. No, in this immediate gear up sequence, we see that Logan was stowing away in the back of the Honda Odyssey. Where? I don't know. Folded up underneath the trunk seat hatch? Who's to say? But he was hiding in there for a big last reveal that happens in the first minute.
I got the quote. I ain't know my daddy, but I'm sure I shot out of his dick ready. He was laying them buttery nuts all up in my mama, and I shot out like, "What's up, Doc?"
You need to put a little bit more stank on the reading, but yes, you definitely got there.
Look, I'm Shatnering these quotes.
That's pretty good. All right, it's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know why they blow the reveal that Wolverine actually did show up to the final fight
At the start,
of the final fight. And this is also the final fight. We're agreeing this is the third act climax, right? Because we've had the all is lost moment in the Honda Odyssey before we ended up with the surprise allies show up to help you, which then precipitates the third act. We go fight the bad guy's horde, and then we go fight the chief bad guy.
well, this is the fight that I think is the most interesting.
This one is the one you... Sure, alright, fine. I have nothing to say about it because it's another CGI fight with bad guys in an open arena. This is less interesting than even the X3 fight at the end.
Well, I just think it's neat to see, like, a real Gambit in action, as well as we get to see, you know, heroes and villains alike again.
Do you know how disappointing it was to hear some motherfucker's still trying to ice skate up hills? Like, Blade is the kind of cool character who would never reuse a one-liner. That is a reused one-liner as a callback for characters who have no context for it.
So, I'm actually the least familiar with Blade of all these characters.
It's a famous line from Blade. It's what he says at the climactic fight scene, fighting off against the nemesis of that first movie.
So what if I told you I've never seen a Blade movie?
That's fine. You don't need to. You just need to know that Blade is a cool vampire man. Oh, I am, like, at no health. That's a problem. I was about to, like, drop dead from a sneeze here. But yeah, if you have stuff to say about this fight scene, I don't. All I have to say is that the fight scene happens and then they end up confronting Nova.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about the fight scene. It's just, it's interesting to me.
It's great seeing it happen, but like we usually don't have a lot to say about our fight scenes. There's usually not a lot of like beats that we want to go off about.
It's just, I like the choreography. I like the CG.
How are we doing off a like
I need bandages. So.
science and
we actually have
cards? Did we get that data card yet?
we have the science that we need. So we're just kind of gold card farming at this point.
Where is Moth on here?
Top row.
Top row?
Uh-huh. It's neutral.
Oh, it is neutral. Okay, alright. We've killed 45 of these. As opposed to ladybugs, which we've only killed 84 of, and we got a gold card off them. Do you know what the drop rate is on some of this?
No clue.
Oh, Red Soldier Ant, we've killed 92 and we still don't have a gold card. I was going to say, I hope that it was just like sitting around the 50 mark.
I killed a whole 9 infected wolf spiders and we haven't gotten it.
Disgusting.
145 bombardier beetles.
Yeah, it's that's a lot. I should be dropping some of this off. I guess I've been scooting that in. But yeah, we get the Cassandra Nova. She reads Logan's mind, and we see how he absolutely failed his. We see how he failed his timeline, And it's just kind of more of the same, where he let the X-Men down and then went on a rampage and let the Beast out. That was it. It's not particularly an interesting backstory. I'm just a failure. That's what it says. Whoopity-doo. And meanwhile, while the mind battle is going on,
I'd eat this normally.
Laura is able to get Juggernaut's helmet by slicing
Decapitating
his
him?
ankles. What?
She ends up decapitating him.
No, she slices his ankles
Well,
so that he can't move.
she
and
does do
then
that.
She decapitates him.
Which you don't actually get the confirmation of until later. You just see his headless corpse there.
Yep. And slam dunks that helmet right on top of Cassandra Nova's head, and this disables her power. It makes
Well,
her
she
veins on her head
puts it in a backpack and throws it up to Deadpool, who then, while Cassandra Nova is busy infiltrating Wolverine's mind, he sneaks up behind her and slams on her head and puts her in chokehold.
Yep. And we've totally skipped this subplot because it is super not important, but Flamio is
Pyro.
actually a secret agent working for the TVA who have been keeping
Well,
tabs
not
on
the
Cassandra.
TVA, but for Paradox.
Right. Well, the TVA stuck her down here, which she's, again, thankful for. She likes it here. This is her own little domain. And he's keeping an eye on her for Paradox, I guess, for reasons. So I guess the TVA at whole don't know that she's down here? And this is just an entirely Black Ops thing that Paradox is doing? But he's kind of sick of being her butt monkey, her lackey. And so while she is incapacitated, he comes up, shoots her, and then starts a mini rant, to which Wolverine just punches him and knocks him out like, not everyone gets speaking parts, buddy. Or no rants for you.
But he said not everybody gets to have a speech.
Not everybody gets to have a speech. You're right. And then Cassandra starts laughing about it. It's like, you can't let me die because I'm the only way that you're going to be able to get out of here. So you have to take this off, and then I'm going to kill you. I'm going to just kill you.
The line was, I can't send you home with this helmet on, but when you take it off, I'm just going to kill you.
Yep. So rock in a hard place. And then Logan actually is able to, like, talk her out of it.
Well, no, it's less about talking her out of it and more of kind of awakening to the latent hero within.
He awakens the latent hero within, but, like, she gets teary-eyed and she's admitting that she likes this as a home genuinely, and she doesn't want to die.
Like, he does reach her, but, like, he's not trying to. He just, the light switch inside him flips, and he's like, take the helmet off.
Right. But importantly, she is, one, already alerted that she's got someone who's double-crossed her in her midst, but two, doesn't matter, she's going to overcome this concern, and she's like, no, I want to help Wade and Wolverine at least get back to their own universe. It's fine. It's fine. I can do that. I'm going to be nice. You did save my life. You didn't try to kill me.
But, it's very important, actually, that he woke up to the latent hero within him, because, the whole thing that she uncovered is that he never lived up to the kind of man that Charles thought he was.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and he guilts her into, like, your brother would have absolutely torn apart the entire world to save you.
No,
That's what gets her.
that's, like, he's not guilting her. He's speaking from the heart.
Right.
He's like, take off the helmet. This is not what Charles would have done, basically.
Yep. Oh, you started. Oh, I can't believe
Yeah, basically, his actions, like, he has no reason to believe she's not going to make good on her threat to kill them immediately. But his conscience tells him, if he wants to live up to the man that Charles thought he was, like, this is what he's got to do. I guess it's a small detail to easily gloss over, but to me, this was like a really important detail.
I mean, it's definitely part of his character arc.
Like, this is the turning point.
Right. It's a 2-beat character arc. There was no struggle beforehand to be any better. There was no sudden realization or like trying and failing. It just went from light switch, I'm not a hero, I'm a screw up, to, oh, I guess I actually can be a hero. And then that's never changed at all after the fact.
Well, it was less about being a hero, more about, maybe I'm a screw up, maybe I'm not a hero, but that's not an excuse to not try to live up to Charles' expectations.
Yep. But I mean, like, that's not really a character arc that we haven't already seen played out in other Wolverine media. It's fine. Sure. It's speed running a tired old tune, is what I'm saying. Cassandra Nova is able to get them back to their timeline by using a Marvel Sparkly portal.
Using the magic finger thingy from Doctor Strange.
Yes, Magic Sparkly portal. Marvel Sparkly portal, as I think Wade puts it. And then the whole base camp is supposedly going to be eaten by the Shadow Monster again, because he's going to show up in a couple of seconds.
Except there's actually a deleted scene that Gambit looks up into the portal and supposedly makes it into it.
Right, and also not only that, but like
sorry,
Flamio and Evil Girl also still exist after this section. I guess they only get eaten. I guess the Shadow Monster only eats things out in the yard, and if he has to go through a window, he can't. Because, yeah, Cassandra then tortures Sparky Boom Man. And it's going to be Avatar The Last Airbender references all the way down. Tortures him and reads his mind. Is like, oh, you were working with the TVA. You know what? Even though I do really, really like this home and had a whole teary moment about it to Logan and Deadpool, and I've said this entire time that I'm really glad that I'm here, I'm actually going to try and escape and then screw with the TVA. Just because, you know what? I feel like being an evil lady.
I mean, she's got a good point. They had a good deal, and they broke the agreement and pissed on her side of the fence, as she put it.
That seems like more of a Flamio guy doing his own thing than the TVA.
Except he was explicitly working for Paradox.
Right, and Paradox is the only one who stuck her down here. The rest of the TVA, he's black site, like off the books on this one. And
Paradox didn't stick her down there.
Then why is Paradox trying to get rid of her? If it's not explicitly Paradox orders to get rid of her, then it's just Flamio doing it on his own because he's sick of being a lackey.
I don't know why he's trying to get rid of her, but he didn't put her down there. But Pyro is also definitely...
He's the one keeping tabs on her.
He is definitely working for Paradox.
Oh, yes. No, I got that. And what I'm saying is why? To what end? What end is Paradox and the TVA trying to eliminate Cassandra Nova, a thing that they've already cordoned off and have a nice little deal with?
I think we have established that motivations were not well written in this movie.
I'm just calling out all of these problems. So we then go to next location with next manufactured escalation, and surprise, there's a fourth act where Cassandra Nova was actually the real big threat all along, and she's going to use the Time Ripper to not just only destroy Deadpool's universe, a thing that she just let him get back to be saved by, but all universes! I now want to be the biggest fan of all! so that she can expand her domain in the void, I guess? I guess she says that at one point? It's fine. Don't even worry about it. And there is a throwaway line. I didn't catch this. In my original notes, I do have a big, long rant about why do all of the Deadpool show up at the end for a fight scene. And she says, I've, called in another band to show up here to help distract Wolverine and Deadpool while I go and deal with the Time Ripper. She explicitly says that. So that means that the Deadpools are working for Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
Why didn't Deadpool just join the Deadpool gang working for Cassandra Nova and be like, hey, can I get back to my place? They're going to rip it apart.
He was...
Why not do that?
A, that wouldn't work. And B, he was... And B, he was never offered the chance.
Just seems like a really odd thing of how all the Deadpools end up together, except this one.
Because she decided she had enough Deadpools.
Super weird.
Like, she explicitly said that in their first meeting.
It's super weird.
When she said Deadpools are a dime a dozen, she does not give a crap about this Deadpool. She has so many, why does she need another one?
It's just very arbitrary, is all I'm saying.
Also, working for a evil entity that is super self-centered, not really gonna achieve benevolent results.
No, probably not. Probably not. But yes, she's called in the Deadpool Corps to do what they do and stop Logan and Wolverine. First, who comes through the portal, though, is Nicepool.
Dogpool, actually.
Well, Dogpool followed by Nicepool. And they're just having, a happy chat.
And, they kind of have a dick measuring contest in the form of fourth wall breaking.
The proposal.
Yeah. I actually had to look that one up.
I've not seen it.
It's apparently...
I would have went with,
It's apparently another...
Thunder?
It's apparently a Disney movie that Ryan Reynolds is in.
Sure. Ryan Reynolds is in a lot of, interesting movies, and you could have picked any of those. You could have picked The Voices.
I think they purposely went for one that,
is out of character.
Right. Because Nicepool is an odd duck for a Deadpool.
Nicepool is bad at being Deadpool, is the bit.
Yes. But then the rest of the Deadpool Corps comes to the portal, led by Ladypool.
Water filtration tablets needed.
Yes, who's actually Ryan Reynolds' wife, right?
Yes.
That is Blake.
And then Kidpool is his daughter, and Babypool is his other child.
Do you know who Headpool is?
No.
Can you guess what cameo voice actor star who maybe is pulling in a Canada Bro favor for Ryan Reynolds is?
I don't really know a lot of Canadian
He's
actors.
a voice actor in another Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1, I don't know. Oh, and he's actually playing a live-action character in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, now that I think about it.
You're gonna have to tell me.
Is he?
The enemy's attacking.
No, he's a live-action character in 3. It's Nathan Fillion! Everyone's favorite Canadian schmuck.
Don't know who that is.
He's Captain Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. He's also...
Never watched it.
He's also Castle from Castle.
Never watched it.
That's fine. You know what? It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Look, Wolverine's the only good thing to ever come out of Canada.
No, Nathan Fillion's the other good thing to come out of Canada. They were on a sitcom together. That's where Ryan Reynolds and him both kind of got their start. Anyways, it It did my heart good. Did my heart good hearing him. I was happy. Their stupid dust cloud gives bleed. If I run through it to grab my arrows, I start bleeding. I hate this. I hate it. And then there's a fight scene that is just a rip-off of the Old Boy hallway. Like, even down to our characters get knocked down and then they push back the whole thing. It is an explicit Old Boy hallway fight scene reference. Pan left to right.
Oh, you are skipping a very important scene.
I don't care that Nice Pool dies.
Well, I do, because, like, the whole reason that Deadpool uses him as a shield is because he thinks he's just like him, just like any other Deadpool.
We've already stated that he's bad at the healing factor.
Well, we stated he's bad at being Deadpool. And the healing factor is just another reason why he's...
than this one right now, because like I need arrows. If we could go back, do some other grinding, because this gold card ain't coming unless it's on this one.
Yeah, we can.
All right.
But yeah, you know, they start shooting, and you know, they all duck behind cover after Deadpool pulls Nice Pool in front of him as a shield, and that's when he finds out that Nice Pool doesn't have regeneration. And then they see a donut shop. And he's like, oh, that's basically a hospital. And for some reason tries to...
I'm also down. That's it. Ripperoo, bud. Yeah, I'm going back to the base. It's fine. Or actually, I carry stuff back to the base. I'm field station right here. Oh, and we need to stop you from being alive. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, that was a still ongoing event. Well, that's your backpack. Where's my backpack?
Mort Noir lipstick. Fake hall pass.
Seriously, where is my backpack?
So, basically,
I don't had anything on me.
This scene establishes that the two best shields in the Marvel Universe are Nice Pool and Dogpool.
Well, Nice Pool is a terrible shield because he dies, but Dogpool, yeah, like none of the Deadpools want to harm Dogpool. They all love him.
Yeah, when Wolverine holds Dogpool up, Headpool's like, hold your fire! They all sheath their guns. Is that the right word? Sheath? Holster? I don't know.
No, sheath is definitely what Deadpool would do to his gun. This is a phallus joke. Why are those different? Okay, it's fine. Alright, I've gubbins. You're just bouncing on my head. Are you having fun?
Uh-huh.
This is a good time for you?
Yep.
Oh, I can't get up now. Oh, I'm permanently crouched. You stuck to me.
I'm stuck too, actually.
Well, this is a problem. Okay.
Hold on.
To clear the airways. Yeah, but you can hear my voice is already starting to go. I've been out every night this week. I have been spending an additional 5 hours being chatty with coworkers. I'm losing it. This archipelago tonight is going to kill me.
So this movie's runtime is 2 hours and 8 minutes, and our stream is at 2 hours and 59 minutes.
I'm on my last half page of notes.
I mean, this is effectively the big climactic scene, but I think the previous fight was more of a climax.
Because again, this is the second we have to fight all the big horde of guys before we can get to the big bad guy. Which the big bad guy is again Cassandra Nova, And the Horde is, instead of one set of reject mutants, it's a different set of reject mutants. But they do the old boy fight scene, like, beat for beat, shot for shot. And it's not as good. It's just a CGI slow-mo fest. It's kind of meh. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I thought it was such an obvious call-out, and it's trying to flex a little bit too much. It's also where we get our one Stan Lee cameo. He is an advertisement on the bus. It's good to see that they're keeping that that going.
So,
is there anything else to call out about this fight? Did you particularly wowed you?
So, me being the uncultured gal I am, had not seen this Old Boys that you're talking about. And I thought it was...
You would hate the movie. You would not like it.
I thought it was fine. On rewatches, I could definitely see that choreography for this scene actually was not really all that. But once they get towards the very end of the scene and they're in the bus, I do kind of like how it's constantly moving slowly from left to right. While it's not actually slow-mo, it's just the camera's panning slow.
Yeah.
And they get to the bus and just like all these Deadpools are in the bus and like one by one each window just becomes a blood splatter as they're working their way towards the back.
It's a series of visual bits.
And then it culminates in what I think is the single coolest looking shot in the whole movie.
Blau, are you just hanging out down there? I said, do you want to grab some other bug parts? Because
I have other bug parts.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I went back home, dumped off a bunch of stuff. Ow.
But they get to the end of the bus, and also we glossed over the fact that the beginning of this fight scene is when Wolverine finally pulls up his iconic mask, which Deadpool makes a quip about the air resistance on the blowjob handles.
BJ handles, yep. And then
But
you can BJ
at the end of the bus, they both bust out of the back window, and it just goes to like the Deadpool 1 opening, where it's in like super duper slow-mo, where it's moving like a couple frames a second.
I'm good, I'm here. Do you wanna...
Yeah, they're jumping out just in like iconic poses, the glass is shattering and busting out, and then it resumes speed, and Deadpool fails the landing.
It's the only thing I remember about the movie. It was the last cool thing we saw happen.
I don't know, I like that shot more than the whole rest of the scene. And honestly, also... the first time I watched it, I was riding the high of Hugh Jackman actually putting on the mask.
So you want to know why you liked the ending shot of that more? Is because instead of having the left-right lockdown camera, it swings around and gives you a different visual frame of reference. It's using a dynamic camera where you see camera movement rather than just movement through quick cutting to different angles.
There's a fight starting here.
You think about the bathhouse fight scene from Deadpool 2. It does a lot of that as well, where it swings the camera to different angles rather than just cutting between the shots. What's coming, by the way?
Bombardier beetles.
They like, or they don't like, ice. Bombage deer. Oh dear, oh dear, oh bombage deer. I wish that they didn't leave, like... Was that it? Was it the one? I'd like to be able to run. Where are you coming from? There we are. This way. But all the Deadpools then start popping back up, and it's like, oh, heck. Yeah, right. We can't actually kill ourselves. It's fine. So they're an invincible army. They're going to be at an impasse.
And they're about to start round 2 when Peter shows up.
In Deadpool's costume. It's not quite as nice fitting, but you know, he's pulling it off. He's making it work.
He's got
cosplay.
He's got quite a package.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular to remark about Peter? It's just that everyone loves Peter. Everyone loves Sugar Bear. And, like, who wouldn't? Sugar Bear's great. Ow! I got smacked. And so that kind of distracts all of the Deadpools and confirms that every Deadpool does have a Sugar Bear. And they recognize him as being Peter. So, like, why wouldn't the other Deadpools have Vanessas? I don't know.
And they love him just as much as they love Dogpool.
Yes. Peter and Dogpool are the universal constants. And so then...
And that leads us into our real climax where Deadpool and Wolverine go after Cassandra to stop her.
Well, actually, they go to Paradox and be like, hey, how can we shut this off? And he's like, the only way to shut this off is if you go down there and sacrifice yourself with the big sparkly tubes. It's an antimatter matter device. It's the only thing in the world that we know for sure will absolutely kill both of you. You will die. We are establishing this clearly. These are the stakes now. The stakes aren't that your world will end, it's that you will die.
Well, he says whoever...
Sacrifice.
He says...
Climax second movie, by the way.
He says whoever bridges the gap will be destroyed, because it's matter and antimatter.
Yes. And that's the climax of the second movie, is that they need to do a heroic sacrifice. Not with the things there, bud. There we go. And so then they walk down and they have a little, like, touching scene where they talk about, you know, who's going to be the one to do the heroic sacrifice and how Logan's going to do it because he's finally learned the true meaning of being a hero.
Because Deadpool has a whole world to return to, referring to the photo in Wolverine. He got nothing.
Yep. Oh, and also this entire time, no one knows what's going on, that their world is about to explode. Al at least saw every the Deadpool. Sorry, heard every the Deadpool. Insensitive me saying that she saw it.
It said she wishes she was deaf.
Yeah. Why? I don't know, because they weren't making a lot of noise, were they? Oh no!
Well, they were all firing guns.
I just noticed who was here. Hello, all you lovely explodey boys. How about you do more biting? Yeah, biting's fine. Did you have a moment there?
I got melted.
You got absolutely melted. Melted your face clean off. That is not worth it for the amount of science that we need, but we absolutely need to get all of these bombardiers.
That was a near-death experience.
And so yeah, they're out there. They have a little bit of argument, and then before Wolverine can even have a chance to lock himself into the nuclear death chamber from that one Star Trek movie. Also, maybe I just take umbrance with the whole antimatter matter bomb thing destroying the universe because it reminds me of the worst piece of media I have ever consumed. Like, even more detrimental to my, like, mental state of keeping plot points in line than Danganronpa. Wade hops into the death chamber and is going to sacrifice himself.
What's the worst piece of media you've ever
I
consumed?
don't want to spoil it, because knowing that there's an antimatter matter bomb in that is spoilers.
Well, you'll have to tell me afterward, then.
No, I don't. You're never going to play it. I've already told you not to.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Now you know. Now you know. Now that's how you do a credit song. Thank you, Weird Al. Anyways, so yeah. They wrap it back around to now the actual plot is that we need a heroic sacrifice to fulfill Marvel Jesus. He's gonna go and atone for all of our sins or whatever by blowing himself up.
He does also say that maybe he's just Spock.
Yes. Well, because that's the thing. Like it is the Star Trek ending. Going into the chamber. That's what I was saying before. Don't worry about it. You guys not. Much appreciated. Ow. Oh, I'm gonna get melted too. This is bad. This is bad. This is real bad. Where are you all coming from? Don't you have an ice scythe that should just be, like, melting these guys?
Using it.
Okay. I'm just surprised, because, like, the spiders...
I think
melted by us.
I think you melted me just then.
Some assistance.
I might have.
Because I had half health, and then I just instantly died.
Welcome to my life here, usually.
Willow!
But it doesn't look like he's going to make it in time, because Cassandra's also got her hands in the guts of this thing, and is, like, forcing it to be disintegrated. Oh, and the actual TVA association at some point got called. Like, they found out that Paradox was doing,
They detected the they detected the machine.
Yeah. So
Oh.
one of the authorities shows up and is about to be, reprimand Paradox for his actions, and sees that it's ticking down. This climax is actually just a tug of war battle where we see a progress bar either filling or not filling.
There's a fight starting here.
And it gets down to 2% before suddenly Wolverine grabs Deadpool's hand and extends his claws into the other side to complete the circuit.
This is not Wolverine. This is not even Hugh Jackman. This is a huge jacked man. Because we get the yellow shirt pop off and
not just pop off, it explodes.
He flexes and his abs break the shirt, and then I feel all warm and tingly inside. It's every boy's dream. I had to sit next to a movie theater with not a girl face and watch this, and the noises I heard that came out of them were lewd at best. Any notes that you want to add here?
So, the way this scene kind of plays... Yeah, they bridge the gap, and then... Okay, I've seen this movie 3 times, and this scene made me cry the first 2 times.
Why? It's so dumb and arbitrary. It's not a good scene. It's just watching a progress bar fill or not as 2 dudes play homoerotic tug of war.
It's because of the flashbacks that we get for both characters. They're just... I don't know, they were really touching.
We haven't had that, like, emotional flashback nothing this entire movie, though. Like, they've been doing it to be heroes or to save the world, not necessarily to save... Like, Deadpool's life in the old universe that he's been trying to save this entire time is admittedly by himself kind of crappy. It's not great. He didn't have the best time of it.
I mean, we get stuff like the "you're crazy" matches my crazy, and all the sacrifices he's made to save Vanessa, and
Were you running back for some reason?
yeah, we got the gold card.
Oh, we got the gold card. I didn't even see that happen. I was too busy dunking on this dumb movie.
And then we see all this emotional stuff with Wolverine too, and it just...
This is Wolverine like 7 at this point.
Look, I'm hormonal. I cry a lot, okay?
I cry in movies when they're like competently written with emotional stakes.
Look, I cry for no reason, okay?
So you got teary-eyed at the time when the 2 men played Flex Off. And then they flexed so hard they exploded. And also Cassandra exploded. And they remembered all the good times that they had. The times of their lives, if you will. Cue the Billy Joel Armstrong. You'll have to remind me what happens after this.
So after this, we get the scene back with the TVA. And he's all like, and they're dead. They sacrificed themselves. Trying to play it off as he didn't know anything about it. It was all Cassandra Nova. And that's when Deadpool...
Oh, I'll take over for you, but I'm sorry. I think you're dying. I know where this is. Yeah, so he's getting reprimanded by his boss. At some point, Peter shows up, and Paradox's boss starts giving Peter, like, bedroom eyes, and this is played as, like, a laugh. But, like, I don't know. Peter could get it. He's cute looking. He's got a great personality. I don't know why Peter being unattractive is like a running gag in these movies, because he's very clearly not. He's a good-looking guy. He's got his life put together. And it's a lot of it's from like Peter's just confidence.
I don't think it's that he's unattractive. I think it's that he just looks like a middle-aged man.
A lot of middle-aged men just look fine. Like that's okay. Not everyone is Hugh Jackman. So, yes, they're getting reprimanded. Paradox says they died, and then they do a second time in the movie, he's right behind me joke. As they walk into frame, and they're very much not dead, and he gets ratted out.
Don't even need to boil it. Just close your eyes.
From there, I think we get a little bit more victory lapping on the I Am Marvel Jesus. And there is a happy reuniting of like, actually, no, you do get to stay in your universe. You don't have to come and join the Marvel universe. And Deadpool is like, you know what? I'm happy where I am. I don't need to be an Avenger.
He also tries to get them to make good on his fake promise
of fixing Wolverine's universe. And they see what they can do, right? Like they say that there's nothing to fix because his past is what made him into the man he is. Right. Yeah, I should probably just repair all these. Like, it's fine.
I am dying over here. Ugh.
No, it's okay. We're basically at the end of the movie. They go don't.
There is one thing, like the TVA lady, she says, I want to show you something big. And Deadpool says, just like Scoutmaster Kevin used to say, bringing it back to Deadpool 1 and 2. I laughed so hard at that one.
Scoutmaster Kevin bit, yeah.
Like, that's the kind of humor that I come to expect in Deadpool.
The humor, I'll put it this way. At the very least, the humor, the quips are well written in this movie in the same way they are in the previous ones. The only issue that I have is with the setup and payoff on a lot of stuff kind of coming a little too quickly. Like this. So if I was writing the movie, the scene where Peter shows back up in the Deadpool suit would be the reveal of him having the chain piercing. And then the TVA woman being into it. That's how you tie a little bow on that one. But no, that's not even commented on here. Oh, right. They do also, and speaking of good callback, they do a callback of the Goo Goo Dolls needle drop when Wolverine and Deadpool walk in not being dead. But then Deadpool and Wolverine are like, you know what? Let's go get us some food. They do not get shawarma. They explicitly don't go and get shawarma, which would have been the perfect way to kind of end this, like, this is our Avengers movie, let's lampshade that. Nope, they're just gonna go get food wherever, basically. You're just flopping that body around over there, aren't you? Doing your own thing.
Trying to figure out where to put it.
I'll let you figure it out. I'll let you figure out what you need.
No, I'm kind of done since we're like at the end of the movie here.
Okay. And so Wolverine is like, I'm gonna keep hanging out with you, right? And then Wolverine's like, nah, I'll see you later, bub. And he walks off into the sunset. Except, psych, he actually doesn't. They continue to get caught up.
Also, Deadpool runs up.
Yeah. It's actually Deadpool introduces Wolverine, his boyfriend, to his mom, Blind Al.
And then
that's what that scene is, right? It's like taking your new boyfriend home to like introduce to your folks.
And then he also tricks her into touching Dogpool's tongue.
Yeah, and she's not into it. Even though Dogpool is, again, so ugly he's cute.
And how did he describe it?
If you've got the exact quote, it's because they do the like, Wade, you look so horrible, you look like a blank fucked a blank joke every movie. It's kind of played out this time. Doing it about a dog, it's funny, but also a little like, oh, come on. Do you have a quote? I don't.
I'm looking.
It's fine. While you find that quote, we can end on that quote. The ending is a monologue about not needing to be a hero and to just enjoy your friends, which, like, he was already doing. His friends clearly cared about him. They threw him a surprise birthday party. He had a normal, well-adjusted life with a steady job with one of his best friends, Peter, which in every multiverse, every Deadpool loves working with Peter. And, like, even his ex-girlfriend showed up at his birthday party. They were still friends. Nothing was gained. Nothing was learned. No one even knew they were in danger. And the happy ending is that things just go back to normal. It's super weird. It is a super weird way to structure the stakes of your movie. But now Wolverine's here. Now everyone's part of the family. The Smash Bros. Cast is complete.
I can't find the quote. I just keep finding TikToks.
Blau, the problem is you're searching on TikTok.
I'm on Google.
Oh, there's our problem, being on Google. Let's see if I can't find it in the IMDb quote section.
I know it's something fucked a gremlin in a pool of gonorrhea or something.
Nope, I can't find it on this quote section.
But anyway, we get the party scene at the end again, except this time Wolverine is there, and also Laura's there too.
Yes, Laura is also there.
So it was implied that some of the people trapped in the void got out.
Yes, that is the implication. Or that the TVA let people out. Or that they weren't supposed to be in the void in the first place. It's hard to say.
And yeah, he says to Vanessa that, I did it all for you. And it's kind of where it ends, really.
Yeah, it's ambiguous whether they'll end up together again or not. Because she's also already got a boyfriend right now, who seems nice.
But there is a post-credit scene.
Was there?
There was. It's
Does it really add anything?
Just another laugh.
Okay, well then I'll let you recap the You already said the quote.
So Deadpool is in the... I didn't say the whole quote on purpose because of this. Also, he doesn't say the whole quote during the movie either. But Deadpool's in the TVA office just absolutely livid about nobody believing him that this is what Johnny Storm said. So he says, roll the tape. It shows Johnny Storm saying, in the void, you're either food for Alioth or you work for her. And I'll tell you who her is. Cassandra Nova, a maniacal, psychotic asshole, a finger-licking, dead-inside pixie slab, a third-rate dime store nut milk, and I'll tell you what she can do. She can lick my goddamn cinnamon ring clean and kick rocks all the way to bald hell. In fact, I don't give a shit if she removes all my skin and pops me like some nightmarish blood balloon. If the last thing I do in this godforsaken cum-gutter existence is light that fuckbox on fire, I still won't die happy. That's right, Wade. I won't be happy until I've urinated on a freshly barbecued corpse and husk-fucked the charred remains while gargling Juggernaut's juggernuts. And you can quote me.
Well, he did end up being quoted.
So, my
You're gonna laugh yourself to death here.
the
You need to be
laughing,
careful there, girl.
the laughing is causing a coughing fit. My favorite line, which wasn't said earlier in the movie, which is why I had to hold off on it, was
Gargling juggernauts.
Gargling-
Juggernauts.
gargling Juggernaut's juggernuts.
How could I have guessed?
Am I that predictable?
Because I really liked Thundercut from Down Under. So like we're same boat. It's all right.
But no, I really like the movie. It's not perfect. I don't think it is as well put together as Deadpool 1 or 2.
Weakest of the three movies.
But this whole movie was fan service and just an excuse to explain Deadpool and Wolverine in the actual MCU.
So what you're saying is this movie is an excuse to make a sequel.
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait for them to make a good movie next time.
And I feel like the fact that this was kind of just an excuse to bring them into the canon is why it was not called Deadpool 3.
I am being hypercritical of a movie that is explicitly a roller coaster ride. This is a thrill ride. This is an amusement park attraction. This is you show up, you grab your popcorn, you have a good time, you leave, you don't have to think about it. And what do I do in every movie that I sit down to? I overthink it. I sit there and I'm analyzing every little bit. It's not that I'm like CinemaSins looking for nitpick dings. It's that I want more. I want a solid foundation, and this is not that.
I think
but it
this
was fun. It was the most fun I had in the movies this summer.
I think it's setting up to really deliver going forward. And plus, we've still got that scene to look forward to of Thor holding Deadpool while crying.
I am going to be okay huffing the same copium you are for the next until we get another one of these, because they're gonna make another one of these. Do you see how much money this made?
Yeah, all 3 Deadpool movies are in the top 5 highest grossing R-rated movies of all time.
And this is the highest grossing one of the 3,
And
even
this
though
is,
it is the lesser of the 3.
This is number 1.
Yeah.
It is really funny that they set up the joke with Passion of the Christ. And
Pay it off.
And couldn't even actually capitalize on it because this is the movie that did beat it.
It's fine. I think that's great. That's a future plant payoff thing. But again, until Hugh Jackman is 90, he's going to be playing Wolverine unless we can get Henry Cavill out here, which, like, please and thank you.
But there's only one Blade.
For now.
They're not gonna bring back Blade.
That was an infinite number of touching grasses that we just did, and now we can finally move on with our lives.
Yep, until October.
I feel like, you know what? I should say that you'll be playing Grounded until you're 90. That's what I feel like.
We're almost done.
You'd say that, and then New Game Plus, and every seasonal event, and then what if they release mods down the road?
You say every seasonal events, but consider we started this playthrough in April.
This playthrough?
Yeah, so we've got October, December, February, and I think March, and then April, because we didn't actually get to do that Easter egg thing.
For 6 months of these. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like visit for like an hour once during each of these months.
Blau, we are going to finish like this recording, and tomorrow they're going to announce Grounded 2. I am never getting out of here.
Oh, I would love
I
another
can feel it.
Grounded
I feel it looming over my shoulder.
Well, I mean, once we're done with Grounded, we got Pow World, right?
You mean Satisfactory, right?
Whatever you want to do on your channel, that's your deal.
I don't necessarily want to do Satisfactory, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, I want to see the spaghetti nightmare mess that I try and put together versus your need to be clean and organized in base building.
So you just want to troll me?
No, it's not that I want to troll you. It's just I know how these games end up working, and I know that you're going to want to make the world's nicest warehouse, and I'm going to just try and, like, I'll be the one rushing the tech tree. But no, we really need to wrap it up, because your voice is going to give out 2 hours ago.
It's not my voice so much as we all got sick here. Like, my son is the only one that went to the doctor, but like, we all got sick at the same time, so we know it's all the same thing. He tested negative for COVID. He tested negative for strep. He tested negative for the flu. So I guess it's just a run-of-the-mill cold, but started with a sore throat, and like my throat's not sore anymore, but now I have like all the phlegm buildup in my throat.
You'll survive. I hope. You better.
That archipelago tonight's gonna be rough unless I just stay quiet.
I'll talk to you about archipelago stuff when we archipelago, but I also have some archipelago stuff I need to get off my shoulder. But yeah, that was it. Go check out the rest of the Grounded playthrough, folks. It's there on the channel. It's wrapping up. We played it for longer than there are stars in Mario 64. I can't believe that. And not only that, also, I'm going to do my own plug today. Check out my channel. I haven't uploaded anything in a while. I'm gonna do that this weekend. You're gonna have the dump. It'll be great.
You've still been uploading Pico 8.
Yeah, that's also running low.
And Hamtaro.
Nope, I actually missed Thursday's Hamtaro.
I mean, you didn't upload every day, but like, you uploaded a couple times.
Yeah, it's gotta happen. It will happen. So yeah.
But yeah, there will be an October video, but yeah, after we get through the stuff that's already been recorded, this will probably be the last thing on the timeline until the October video, and then that'll be the last until probably like November or December, because I'm getting surgery in a couple days, so I'm going to be down and out. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up my daily upload schedule here. But, we'll see. We'll see. We do have plans to come back to Grounded and do the New Game Plus to show off what's different there. And plus, next time I've got to actually show off the 100% ending, which was kind of what we were working towards the whole time today, even though we didn't spend any of that science. It will all be in an actual recording. But yeah, do check out Not a Buttface's channel. It's at ShifterChaos. And
Forgot to actually say how to find my channel.
Yeah. And also check out my other Let's Play that is about to wrap up. There's 2 episodes left to go live. I'm no longer in control of my own upload schedule. I just record the videos. Frau Blau does the rest. I thought she was going to just finish off the Mega Man Anniversary Collection because I had it all recorded. But she decided, nope, we're going to stretch it out a couple more weeks. So I guess we'll get episode 30 Monday, and then the finale the following Monday. And then I've actually already recorded the first episode of the next series.
Is it Slime Game?
Slime game.
I saw you playing a slime game, and then you sent me pictures of you playing slime game. Is that the slime? Is that the next series you're playing, or is it something else?
Oh
Something
god,
weird?
no! I'm not playing Dragon Quest X on the channel.
I was wondering.
No. I've
Well,
actually,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it here. I'm curious.
I've actually already told you, and it's not my fault if you don't remember.
It's no. Hey, I should have been writing it down. I should have been taking notes. I should have been looking at the manual.
But I guess you'll find out soon, because I'm sure that video will go up as soon as I run out of Mega Man and Grounded to upload.
Nice.
Oh.
It's gonna be good.
I want to try and record more this weekend before I go under the knife, so I don't just have one episode. But, with the archipelago, I guess it's all going to depend on how quickly I get beat. Yeah, the sick actually might stop me from recording at all.
Well, we'll see.
But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining us. This has been the 6th episode of Touching Grass. Wow, we did 5 whole Touching Grass episodes just talking about X-Men and Deadpool.
I think it was time well spent, at least with you.
That
Good time.
We've talked about these movies for a whole day. A whole day.
This is my second favorite podcast series I've worked on.
A whole day. 24 hours we have talked about these, 9 movies or however many there are.
That's like a good week's worth of shifts of listening to podcasts right there.
Wow. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I think we're gonna cut it here. And we'll see y'all next time, which I guess is gonna be October.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Press all the buttons on your end, and I'm gonna have to run away.
Let's see. Stop streaming on OBS first.